Turns out even voice actors are concerned with their figures. Jason's not a nice guy, and everybody knows the best place to apologize for a drunken mistake is at your local brewery. Welcome to Showmance, guys, the only show on the internet that does deep dives on shows with no depth.
Shows as shallow as the pool would have to be for Zach to keep his abs sprayed on.
See, I don't laugh at all of them.
He got his abs spray painted on, so he can't get in a pool.
And he even
But
said...
he also talked about so much about how it's so good, it never comes off. I could rub around all over and it wouldn't come off. That could have been in the after show, but like, cool, then jump in the pool.
He says he doesn't like going in the pool, though. I'm just saying.
Maybe he doesn't know how to swim.
No, he does.
Oh, that's right. He was a swimmer in high school.
Yeah.
You probably got to know how to swim to be on the swim team.
I was on the swim team, so yeah, and I know how to swim, so I'm just guessing.
Right.
Yeah.
All
Well, this little bug. I'm sorry, I'm a vegetarian. I love animals, but there's this one little bug that always flies just around me like I'm Pigpen.
He's lived for 78 years here, and he'd appreciate if you would let him keep on living.
No, Dr. Kevorkian's in the building. I am coming for you, little one. Anyway.
If you see my bra, these two aren't doing their jobs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, if you see my bra, let me know.
Yeah, well, also let me know in the comments.
Yeah. I always want to call them commies, but you can't. Like, should we read the commies? Should we do the commies? You can't say that.
I think we should now.
Well, I think we should. It's just,
Let's see what happens.
somebody always ruins it for everybody.
I'm getting pretty sick and tired of Janet coming up with new nicknames for people or bringing up old ones or, calling Crazy Kristen or Detective Doute. I would like for everyone, I think Karens have had their day. I think they've all been, had their lashings. Karens should be able to move on and live a peaceful life. I think Janet is the new Karen. I would like it. If you think that you all could take a stab at transitioning to Janet as opposed to what a Karen, hashtag
Janet's the new Karen.
Janet's the new Karen. Hashtag Janet's the new Karen. There's not a lot that we're going to be able to serve this bitch up. It's a new show. God knows how long they're going to keep her around for the drams. But we can do all that we can do to ruin her life.
I don't want to be a part of ruining anyone's life. I just want her to know her behavior is gross.
It's so gross, but it's also so dumb. And it couldn't be on display more than during that back and forth between her and Kristen, which was the dumbest argument ever. But Janet still totally flew over her head. It's stupefying to watch.
We're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Should we top of the pops it?
Yeah.
Okay. Not everyone watching this knows, but I did a one-woman show, and the name of it was called No, I Won't Take You to the Airport. I gotta get that bug.
She's being a real Janet.
It's catching on already, Nat. Yes. One line in the show was, no, I won't take you to the airport. That's why God invented Uber. And I just really feel, and I always got a big laugh. Not here tonight, but normally on stage, it got a big laugh.
We heard it a bunch.
Yeah, this is true. Natalie only came to the show 87 times. So thanks, Nat. And so at any rate, when they were on their way, Melissa, Jasmine, on their way to pick up Zach at LAX, that is some true friend shit. Like, no, I won't take you to, I won't pick you up from unless you birthed me.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm still a little like, we could put you in an Uber, right?
There's something that I feel like no one really talks about, how it's not just about picking someone up, like you get there and then you have to drive home. It is literally an average of about 3 hours out of your life, from like the planning to make sure you leave at whatever time. You never plan well enough. The traffic is horrendous. Just getting there, you're creeping up. You're stressed out the whole time because, like, if they land on time, or are they circling, or are they even allowed to wait? Can anyone wait anywhere anymore without getting
Yelled
shoved
at.
along? Yeah, you miss them one time. Oh, there she is, but you've already passed. Heaven forbid you stop and reverse a bit. No, God, no. You'd go to terrorist jail probably. It's just no one should do this. You just get Ubers. There should be not allowed. Shouldn't be allowed to pick people up from the airport. I don't think.
No, but what if it's like your lover? Like when you pick up Mike from the airport, it's so sweet.
If you're not banging, it's illegal.
Yeah.
If there's not a chance of a roadie.
And if you are banging, it's a misdemeanor. Listen, and LAX, not to cry about like being so privileged to have airplane trips, but LAX has changed in the last 5 or 6 years. So like everyone hates LAX. I never used to hate LAX. I was like, I don't see the problem. You go, there's a big circle. You just keep driving in the circle until your guy gets there. And that, like, I didn't have a problem with it. Then they took out the circle. The circle's still there, but you can't drive in the circle. You can't get in the inner circle to where you pick people up. You can only be on the outer circle, but you can't pick people up on the outer circle except for certain designated areas. And then if you do want to make your friends take an Uber, that's a discussion that we're going to have afterwards because getting to the place to get the Uber,
they have got to work that shit out.
It's so horrible.
It's disgusting. It's like in a different city.
Yeah. Some people would pass their apartment on the way to getting an Uber.
Yeah.
They'd be like, no, can you just right here? I'm here.
You literally have to get on a bus to get to the Uber. And again, I know these are like real privileged conversations. I'm just saying air travel is not cheap. So when you're making us feel like we're steerage on the Titanic, like, we're Jack and what's it, Massimo or whatever we're staying. I just feel like I paid $800 for this ticket. Can I just get my Uber to pick me up at the curb like I'm not cattle?
Point being, good on you, Jasmine.
Yeah, Jasmine, you are a friend to have.
Yeah. I can't help but think this would have not happened had there not been a scene to be had in the car from it. It feels more like a work day.
I think Zach and Janet, Zach and Jasmine pick each other up from the airport. I do.
Yeah, also that scene could have happened anywhere. Like Jasmine could have very simply been like, yeah, no, dude, sorry. And then they would have been like, okay, I guess we'll do it at the pool party or at the wherever,
All right, fine.
It was kind of a nothing burger of a scene. Like, we learned that Zach's boyfriend, on again, off again, they are now on again and IG official. And Jasmine, I guess, plants the seed again for the fact that she's, upset with Danny, which we get into later,
And also, Benji's husband doesn't know about Zach. No big deal.
But we don't even see, right. It's like, we don't see Benji. We don't know. Who cares?
Benji's husband is going to kill him.
They're separated.
Zach would really like this to be featured because he was excited to say that he looks much younger and is hotter, and he didn't know, but he's going to now. And then he did like a...
Dude, that was so funny.
Like my friend Brennan always says that.
Yeah, by the way, it was adorable. So if it was a win for Zach, it's a win for us. Because we love Zach.
Yeah, that was good. Good.
He's just getting cuter and cuter every episode to me.
No, I agree. And I think that Zach in Love is even better because people that don't like him, I think that he's just like harsh. But I think that Love looks good on everyone, and that can only be helpful, to that note.
But also he is, someone, hold on, because if we're reading comments during the middle of the show now.
Well, we're trying.
We're trying
it out.
I'm not trying it out.
I think what's great about Zach is funny. Like when he said the thing, like, turns out I am more beautiful and younger, you know, like that was funny. And so Ningy Ding, what a cute name, had said, what the Valley is missing for me, humor. That's why I like Vanderpump Rules and Summer House. The friendships were charming. They were heartwarming and hilarious, and fun moments mixed in with the drama. The stars had unique personalities, and I need that I need that balance. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to watch The Valley. Us too. But I think that they really tapped into something there where I was like, oh, right. Like, we don't have enough comedic relief here. And it is a palate cleanser from all of the intense narcissism that we're seeing this season on The Val.
Yeah.
Okay. After they're in the car, I feel like, again, and I know, Mike, your rule, I'm really trying to remember this.
Rule.
No, it's yours. Let's give you credit. It's Mark's rule. Like Murphy's Law, this is Mark's Law.
Yeah.
That if they're showing it to us, they're showing it to us for a reason. What the hell was the reason for the stupid play date between Nia and Michelle?
I personally think if I had to just throw one out there, I would say it's because you don't want Michelle on this show anymore. Michelle, are you still selling homes? How's it going at work? You got any new interesting celebrity clients? You and Aaron do anything fun this weekend? You got any fun trips planned? I'd love to know anything about Michelle that didn't have to do with Jesse. If that's your reality, if that's all you have going on, then sure. But I'm here to tell you that you will not keep an audience interested, inspired, wanting more of, they have their own problems. They're not looking to, you're not leaving the screen and then people going, God, I wonder how that thing went with Michelle. I wonder whatever happened with that text message. Is the nanny on the preferred list? Who knows? Let's find out. No one is. There's a role for you. It's called friend of. If you continue on with this.
That being said, though, who on the show is doing anything? There's one person that I'm waiting for the outcome. I'm pretty sure I know the outcome. And you're still a piece of shit. And honestly, I don't even give a about your outcome. Sorry for the curse words. I think they're appropriate when they're used for Jax.
We've been saying so.
Yeah.
Use them for not for connecting.
But
conjunction.
Nobody on the show has anything going on that I'm like, oh, wait, what about that? Oh, did you do this? Nobody does. Nobody does.
I mean,
Who are we waiting on? Kristen to get pregnant?
Kristen's trying to get pregnant. Danny and Nia are maybe moving, maybe in I don't they're on the trajectory to have another baby if they can get a house elsewhere.
But to your point,
who else is there?
None of that is being talked about. None of it's being shown. This whole show is turned into let's see how many rumors that we can just yank on and yank on and yank on string-wise. Until we're naked and not wearing a sweater.
They made a big deal, obviously, about this stuff with Danny. And then the problem with the Jason stuff is you can't... Is there something happening?
Rufus sniffing your hair.
Oh yeah. He loves me. I hope he doesn't slash me.
He's already I'm laying down now. I'm toe tie.
And this happens with Housewives. It happens on all of the shows. And it is a problem. When we haven't seen the behavior and all of it is just speculation where it's he takes off his wedding ring and I heard it from this person and that person told that person. Now I'm just in a whole mishigas of hearsay and I can't really form an opinion. I don't know how to iron this out to see what actually happened.
So true.
And it's just frustrating. It's not it doesn't scratch the itch.
But it's also for me, it's a problem because A, all of those things. And then B, what's the point of the play date? The point of the play date was for Michelle to tell Nia what happened after you left. Oh, everyone started talking shit about you. Remember the thing that you said where you're like, okay, we're cool, but next time just bring it to me. Let's be adults and don't do this behind my back. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Everybody cool. All right. Love you guys. I got to go. Click, door shuts. Can you believe that bit? Fuck her. And I'm you fucking idiots. All she asked you for was this thing. So the point of that scene was for Michelle to provide some actual real life drama that actually happened. And I don't even remember what this boring ass twat said. Nothing. And then took it on herself.
No one says twat anymore. That's
really
great.
It's a good one. I know.
Or clam. Jenny used to always go, stupid clam.
Clam is a best.
I used to have a mix called Jam Out with Your Clam Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, our auntie used to use that one, clam a lot. What did she say? Anyways. So, and then she stole the scene to be like, oh, Isabella gave me approval to get married and Jesse's talking to mental health, but I don't do anything. Oh, and I want to get married. And if I get married, it'll be with Aaron. No, you motherfucker. This was Nia's chance to get some action and you blew it. You blew it. F off with these lame ass rumor storylines and notice that you have real storylines right here, right on. Just scratch that one. Yeah. Get rid of this that doesn't exist.
By the way, someone should have told her because I was very up in arms about the fact that You just had her here for hours. You guys are all talking about what happened in Santee B. And then as soon as she leaves, you're all talking about how you still don't feel resolved. You still don't understand things. You're still upset about things. Why didn't you say that when you were at a 3-hour lunch?
And I didn't save this comment, but somebody did, because I was like, oh, I wonder if Janet, everyone was going back and forth about like, oh, why is, not Janet, sorry, Jasmine's still harping on this. And I was like, I said just in the comments, like just throwing it out there. I don't know if I believe this, but what if Melissa's like really pissed? And we don't really hear a lot from Melissa, so probably she's not super pumped to be on a reality TV show is my guess, or just doesn't feel comfortable, whatever. But I was like, what if Melissa's mad and this is Jasmine being a bigger part of the show, like using her voice and whatever, right? And somebody mentioned like, yeah, cool, good take. Until you hear at the dinner, she was like, I just don't know why I'm so conflicted about it. So I'll find out who said that.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you got me. Touche. So yeah, I don't believe that anymore, but.
And that's why last episode I was saying, I'm like, I'm so confused because Jasmine wasn't able to like put her finger on it and say, this is why I'm so upset. I mean, I think she articulated herself.
Did she get stuck behind there?
I don't think so. She got in. She could get out. She's being a little.
Hey, what are you doing?
Somebody closed the bedroom door.
We need kitten participation.
Yeah, come on. People love you. We gotta buy.
Sorry you have fans, you ungrateful clam.
I do think in the scene that we'll get to, Jasmine does articulate it better. And I finally was like, I do feel like we got to the bottom of things, which whatever, I have my feelings on.
And all that said, and this wouldn't have any direct effect on how Jasmine's dealing with this because she wouldn't have even known about this yet. But last week, I came in with an overall grievance that this show didn't air the apology as it happened in the episode. I had remembered seeing the apology like in a flashback and then hearing about it discussed in after shows. And then you guys thought that you saw it as not, and it was in real time. The next day, I get a text from my buddy Garrett that said, oh my God, I totally thought that happened in a flashback too. And I just assumed that it was because they used that cool tone filter on it, which is usually used for flashbacks and like dream sequences. And then I asked him like, hey, did you go back and look and see? And he said he hadn't. So I did. This did happen at the white party, but they did not feature it. They told us about it in episode 3 as a flashback. So it's actually even worse than I thought, because I thought that they were out of production when it happened. And so they scheduled like a special shoot on it, like on its own for Jasmine and Melissa to confront Danny and for Danny to address it and react. No, this apology was an event that took place aside all the other events that we saw from the white party. Think of the things that we were going over in that episode. And this is not from me watching the episode. I was just like top of my head trying to remember the scenes right now. But like, it's Jesse and Michelle bickering about what school Isabel is going to go to. It's Jax being pissy. He's not invited to the party. And you know, Britney saying, because I got a boo coming, you know, whatever.
And didn't he host his own little party?
Yeah, and then he had like a sideshow party. I know. And then it's, what else happened there? It's Janet trying to skirt the fact that she roped Kristen into her beef with Zach about on a podcast, you know, about the baby comment.
Yeah.
That is just like so
Zach
blown
wanted
out.
to murder my baby.
Yeah. And then there's another one that was just like, who cares? Like, I can't remember, but basically like it did happen there with all those things, and they still decided we're not going to put we're going to take all these other dumb dick storylines because we are finding them either you found them more important, or you already have a story in mind that you wanted to tell, and like this is going to take up too much time and whatever. But like we don't even see the flashback until episode 3. We hear about the whole thing in flashbacks and the confessionals or not after show stuff. So you can say, just like I said, well, Jasmine didn't even know they were going to do that, and she's still dragging this out because she's just that desperate for a storyline. I think that I don't know Jasmine from the wall. And while she's on my radar for possibly being storyline hungry, I'm aware, I'm not convinced of that yet. And what I think I do understand about Jasmine is that she could definitely be reacting the way she is because she knew that this kind of choice by the show is very much in line with how much of this kind of stuff is dealt with. She specifically talks about her experiences as someone in a queer relationship and how so often things that happen to them either just get brushed aside. It's like, whatever, who cares? No one takes it seriously. It's undermined, all the things. And she's totally right. I mentioned last week about how I used to go to gay bars all the time in WeHo, and so many gay men would just walk up to me and touch my boobs. And because, why not? And where else would a guy get away with that? It's just obvious to me that the boundaries between straight and same-sex society just continue to be very loosey-goosey and unclear. So I just want everyone to take a moment and take into consideration that there's a big chance that her inability to just let this go and move on is more macro than it is just the micro of this one thing that happened. The show didn't even view it as important enough to show it happening in real time. For whatever reason, I don't know. The outcome was that she took second position to every other dumb dick on this show. And the domino effect of that is that we're all being dragged into assessing whether her beef is worthy or if it's not. If you chose not to air it happening, but you're choosing to air all of the subsequent times that Jasmine's bringing it up, then that right there is another choice that you have made. And that is affecting everyone. Jasmine looks like a whiny Karen, desperate for story. Danny, as a human, will start to lose sight of what he did and start to put focus on how to defend himself. And how he's now being irrationally dragged for something that he's already addressed time and again, apologized for, doesn't know what else he could do. And now you've made Danny the victim. You did that, Bravo. In your dealings, these are the things that can happen. Don't let Bravo be a part of the reason that you're still mad at Danny, or the reason that you're now mad at Jasmine. So I think she probably knew this is the most perfect couple. They're gonna it's never gonna get taken seriously. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I know that I'm giving her a lot of credit. Believe me when I say she's on my radar for being a person that is starved for story. After she brought the thing up about Danny later, or not about Danny, I'm sorry, about Jason later, how she's the one that kind of came with the rumor about the ring and whatever. I get it. I'm not saying she's perfect. She's on the radar, but I'm not convinced yet that she does that kind of thing. So I think that this whole thing is probably just because she's been in several situations like this and just assumed this one's not going to go any different. Yeah. And guess what? It fucking didn't. So
until it did. Because now it's kind of sticking, and we'll unpack it more, obviously, when we're in the brewery.
Yeah.
But I definitely think by hook or by crook, she's gotten a spotlight on this issue, which I'm glad she did, because I learned some stuff from what they were talking about, because I never even thought of.
Yeah.
So we kind of get into it when the guys are going to have burgers, which, by the way, this burger place looks amazing. And I looked it up.
From a vegetarian.
Oh, well, I loved eating meat. I just, that's not, I don't want to don't get all political. Just kidding, it's not political at all. I don't eat meat.
She watched some Netflix docs. Don't do that. If you want to keep eating meat, don't watch any Netflix documentaries.
Or get off Instagram, because they feed these videos to you, and then all of a sudden you're like, what's the difference between my cat? I'm not going to go put Minnie between a brioche bun tonight.
Because of Big Cow, but cows are assholes. No, so you can cheeseburgers.
They're really not.
They're not the little baby
They're
calves.
known as prairie dogs
that keep trying to feed off of their moms who then kick them. I've been seeing a lot of those in my timelines lately. I don't know how this happens, but get it out.
Well, I'm not trying to eat veal. I want a double.
Oh, I'm trying to eat veal.
Okay. At any rate, this burger place looked great, and I was so bummed that they don't have a vegetarian option. How do you not in LA have just a...
Oh, they didn't have one there?
No, they don't have a Beyond Meat version or whatever.
Chemical burger? Just get it veggie style.
They offer a grilled cheese, but or how do you just, I don't know. I just think it's crazy to not have a vegetarian option.
It's good for the economy. You want to know why? I was thinking about this the other day.
To not have a vegetarian option?
No. To have one. If no one realizes, a lot of times, like we will go out and we'll be splitting everything. Courtney can't split. You can split some things.
Yeah.
But if no one else is willing to also eat veg, then like Courtney has to order all of her own meals. So I just was thinking about that, how like there's like when you go out to like a la carte places and you're just like, it could get very expensive when like there is no like that share option is not happening. So like every restaurant, if you want to stay in business, get that shit on your menu because you're only going to upsell.
And I just would like to say this really quickly for all of you people out there watching that have your vegetarian or vegan
Nobody's
friends.
watching anymore.
What
They
people
all
watch
clicked
us?
out.
No, you stop that. I just need to say this because this happened to me once and it really fried my balls. I went out to a dinner with a bunch of friends and literally the only thing on the menu that I could eat were sliced tomatoes. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. That's the only thing on this menu. And so I had that and like a glass of wine. And when the bill came, everyone put their credit card down, splitting it 4 ways. And I don't want to be that cheap jerk to be like, well, I got the tomatoes and the glass of wine.
You're
so
not
clearly,
cheap. You're just mad because you have low blood sugars.
I have low blood sugars, and now I'm starving. So now I got to go home and eat whatever's in the pantry. I'm hangry.
And brokery.
I'm all of the okay? And everyone let us split it. And I'm like, you assholes, let me pay $75 for sliced tomatoes and wine? I was so pissed. Don't do that to your vegetarian friends. Be like, this is ridiculous. You had sliced tomatoes. Like, put in $20. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So we're at the burger place and sweet Danny. I love when he's like, I'm just going to get a single.
Yeah.
I'm watching my figure, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I just like when people are like, trying to be healthy and not, I just appreciate
yeah, and they're not scared that their like douchebag friends are gonna be like, oh, pussy.
Although Jason did make a little comment, the tiny ones for Danny. Jason, you're on my my sugar honey iced tea list.
No, Jason's got to take hits where he can because he's the biggest pussy out of this entire group.
Yeah.
So I'm now seeing him as like, if there's a shot, he's gonna be right up front and center. Like,
can I take
bullseye?
it?
Yeah.
So they get their burgers, they sit down, and right away Luke is like, someone goes, oh, I'm tired. And Luke said, oh, well, Danny, you got a lot of flack for being tired in Santa Barbara.
No, he said a lot of hubbub.
Oh, there was a lot of hubbub.
Which every time I hear hubbub now, I wonder if Taylor Greene ever got to the bottom of what that word means. I will never not hear hubbub and not think about Taylor being like, hubbub, what is that?
It's literally like it's in the definitions in the way you say it.
Tell Taylor.
Taylor, the definitions in how you say it. Anyway, Jason starts going in on Danny being like, listen, you made Janet uncomfortable when you went in there. Janet, if you were really uncomfortable, you're a wiener. I don't know. Am I wrong?
No.
Like, you're in there, you loser, I gotta get my mac and cheese cup. Every time you've retold the story, you've mentioned that you had to get your mac and cheese cup.
Leave that part out,
now
dude.
that
You're
she
not
is on
7.
After the Dave and Buster's things, I'm like, this bitch is looking for sponsors. Like, she's putting it out there, which in a way,
Or
maybe I'm
she's-
just pissed because we're not putting it out there nearly enough. We would love to be sponsored by
Coors
Dots
Lights and Dots.
and Coors Lights, yeah. And Wheat Thins and Triscuits and all the
And
snacks.
Jesus, oh my.
All the
I mean, if we're going full board, Titleist, Cannondale, let's do this. Taylor
I mean, there's some
made.
vegan snacks that are
What's up?
pretty great that I would like being
No,
sponsored
but-
by.
Or Janet is 7 years old.
Yeah. She is 100%
Dave
7
and
years old.
Buster's Mac cut, like make the fucking box like a regular adult.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I know. You can't even take the time
Jesus
to boil water.
Christ, Yeah.
So I went in the pantry to get my mac and cheese cup. If I hear about her mac and cheese cup one more time, I'm going to put my head through the television, okay?
Yeah, you're not cute.
Not at all.
Beach Feet Girl says, I've chugged in the laundry room. It's because I don't like my company. It doesn't mean I have a problem with alcohol. Listen, we're really lightening it up there, but like, that's something. Like,
Yeah.
and you always say, like, again, why you're hiding with Janet? It wouldn't that be the one person that you
that's-
didn't want to see
that-
something?
Yeah, especially like, she's who you're hiding from.
Yeah.
If you're hiding, in that group, if you're like, oh, afraid, That's the person you're afraid of.
Yes. And by the way, I do not have a problem with alcohol, but I have been at one of those dinners where like, it's just it's not for me. I need to do something to like numb the pain, but I don't want to be the one person like, hey, let's take a shot if nobody else wants to take a shot. So like, I'll meander over to the bar and do it while no one's looking. Like it's, anyway. And he has explained this 7 ways to Sunday. He went in, he shut the door, he took a swig of the tequila bottle because he wants to get hammered like everyone else
like
here.
Every other red-blooded American here.
These are tough times we're living in, okay?
Daddy had a long day. I've said it once, I'll say it again.
By the way, he can't grab ass sober.
Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. Also, how is not one person bringing up Jesse's level of drinking? Like
Edie 80 is saying, funny that no one bothered with Jesse that time he was drunk out of his mind at breakfast.
he grabbed Kristen's nipples last season. He hasn't taken a sober breath in all of the Santa Barbara trip. He's literally like bundled up like a little pig in a blanket outside, just being like, this dinner didn't go well. Like he's so hammered, and everyone just keeps coming down on Danny, which yes, has Danny had bad moments drunk? Absolutely. But like in this moment, I don't see him doing anything wrong. So for you guys to come down on him this hard for taking a shot of tequila and then going to sleep because he has 2 jobs and 3 under 3. I can't connect the dots on where this anger is coming from, Janet.
I know.
Or why you're so
sick.
Uncomfortable. By the way, I know this sounds awful, but like, do you really think Danny is going to push you up against this weird makeshift pantry wall and try to put his weenie in you, you weenie? Like, it's
Janet,
not going to
that would be the
happen.
best thing that ever happened to you.
Okay.
No, because then she'd actually have a story to complain
That's what
about.
I'm saying. Like, I think I said something before about how like he delivered you a gift and you thank the baby Jesus because that's all your character. That's all you are. That's all you'll ever be with the road you're on and everything that you're displaying. You've left no one any confidence you'll ever be able to pull off a single storyline on your own. That's like a real thing.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is why the show kind of sucks. And like, because what do these people
It's the best
do?
show on Bravo.
I don't think the show sucks.
It kind of sucks.
Okay, tell us why.
Because there are so many other storylines that, like, Jasmine and Melissa are getting married.
But they're not engaged yet
What do you mean?
on the show.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not. They're still
I
just.
thought they were engaged before the season even started. Didn't they get engaged in the?
No, they're not engaged yet.
Wasn't episode 1 like them being like, buy me a ring, you buy me a ring? Isn't that
Yeah.
wasn't that?
And when they were talking to Danny,
Anyways, there's so many, like,
Listen, we'll probably
Janet
see it
just
in a
had a
flashback.
fucking kid. Like, I get that maybe you don't want to feature your kid on a TV show, but like, how about talking about being a mom for the first time? How about talking like you guys were talking about last year? Jason was, I don't understand the benefit of holding a baby. I did a cost analysis and it seems pretty shit. Like, so okay, have you had your kid yet? Like, so there's just I'm getting real tired of like the bullshit rumors. Let's run for weeks on these bullshit rumor storylines when I'm sitting here going like, what? There's so many real storylines I would much rather be interested in, and it would make you guys seem likable and relatable and like all these things, and all you're going to do is do the opposite. You're going to make shit up and then turn into complete psychopaths. None of us can relate to that. Like, we're not psychopaths. Most people aren't psychopaths. And like, I get that there's the whole,
I strive.
I get that there's the whole like, oh, we like watching shitty people because it makes us feel better about ourselves. I'm not interested in that. It's teetering on where Vanderpump left off for me. Like when we were going to do a whole thing on Vanderpump and I spent the first 20 minutes saying, these people are horrible. I hate everyone.
It's a fun day at work.
Yeah. And then, so I'm not there yet, but I'm having those same kind of feelings of like, you guys are all pieces of shit and you're living lives that could be interesting, and you choose to just treat us, the audience, like shit and treat us like idiots and just hog feed us some bullshit. Like, and I'm not interested in it. Give me something serious. I know there's serious shit going on.
Well, I do think that, listen, again, the Danny stuff to me right now, that's not an A storyline. But I did think at least we got a decent scene with the boys sitting down having burgers, because you can clearly tell that Jason is just being persuaded, fed information,
100%.
strong-armed. I don't know how you want to
But
put
that's
it.
yeah, exactly.
By Janet to be
right.
like, you need to go after him because what he did, like, he made me. I don't even think she thinks she's stirring up drama in a Jax kind of way, where like Jax just throws everything to the wall and sees what sticks. I feel that Janet actually in her mind is like, he came in the pantry while I was in there alone getting my mac and cheese cup. And that's not right. And it's just like,
do you think she thought that though? Like she really felt that?
I think she's one of those people that like, she has this moment, and because she has nothing else going on for her, that she just keeps telling the story. And you know, we've heard the story when the person's told it 18 times.
Right.
It's bigger and more dramatic on the 18th time than on the 8th time that they told it. And I feel like that's Janet. So when she's talking to her husband,
it was room temperature. It was 3 swallows, 4 gulps, 5 partridge in a pear tree, whatever.
By the way, do you know how many people drink tequila room temperature and just
isn't it called neat?
Yeah. Like you can drink whiskey and tequila and things like this. It's not like he had a warm beer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like the episode of Real Housewives of New York when Sonia took a Coors Light out of her pocketbook when she was at a party at Luann's house. That's weird. Okay? Like, love you, Sonia, but that is strange behavior.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And also, all of these people are getting hammered. All of them. So when Jason is saying this stuff to Danny and really coming at him, it's like, back off. You're fighting your wife's battle, which isn't even a battle. Nothing happened between her and I. She just has to victimize herself because that's Janet's the new Karen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that Danny could have handled this better if he was media trained to do it. When he said, and then, because Jason's just trying to put, like, he was lawyering up for this scene, it felt like, because he's pulling out, well,
he's not a very good lawyer.
Yeah,
I agree.
I was going to say, I can't believe anyone has hired this guy because that's
yeah,
your answer.
He's not a litigator.
When Jason says, I thought you were going to take like a little bit more of a, oh shit, I messed up. But since that isn't the case, it makes me think that maybe there is something bigger going on. Jason, that sentence made 0 sense.
Like, I don't know this. I'm making shit up.
No, I don't think
like,
I think he works in like trademark law.
No, he works in workers' comp. And I thought,
But
remember
he's
when
a
I was like, I think
spreadsheet
he's a
lawyer.
do-gooder lawyer, because I thought that he was helping the employees. No, he's helping the companies get out of their shit, which is still, actually give him all the cases. Give him a promotion. He is solid. This guy is the worst attorney ever.
Yeah, he's not so great.
Well, when he was trying to lob these things up to thinking he's going to really like knock this out of the park and I'm going to get you here because Jasmine, Danny, is still, she was triggered and she feels, you know, some kind of way about it and all this stuff. And Danny said, okay, then that means I need to go have a discussion with Jasmine because I would never want her to feel bad. And I have no problem apologizing again. Like, right. Because there's no issue here between you and Danny, Jason. If you were a real friend of this guy and not trying to be wound up by your wife and just like one of those little plastic chickens that you just start just walking all over the place, annoying everybody, you would have come to him and say, listen, I know you're a good dude and you, as a friend, I do want to let you know that I do think you should look at your relationship with alcohol just because you're not your best self when you get that drunk. And I love you. And I think you are one of the best guys I know, specifically when you're not in that drunken space. Jasmine, who I know you love, is still really upset about this. So I would go and talk to her about it again. That's how, if you really gave a shit, you're like trying to have some gotcha moment with him.
If they not played back, listen, it was obviously so clear that he was coming there on with
Yes.
marching orders directly from his wife. And if you have a brain injury and like you didn't grasp that, you need not look further than when they show the flashback of him in the jacuzzi in Santa Barbara going, yeah, I mean, if my wife was, if Janet was drunk and passed out upstairs, I would just say she's upstairs sleeping. I wouldn't say she's drunk and passed out. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Your words, Jason, like no one else's. Like you already said it. So there's that. Second, apologize to Jasmine. This motherfucker has already apologized however many times. You know that. I think we've all have jobs where we've been brought up to bring a problem, bring a solution. What should this apology entail, considering it's already happened? Like maybe help him, bring some suggestions. Everything that you're saying is so unthoughtful and so blah. Like you don't like. It's almost like you just rehearsed this in the car because you got some talking points.
No, it's almost like he's out to hurt him.
No, you're
That's
out
what it
to hurt
was.
him on. But what we obviously we get to later, and we should applaud. We rarely on Bravo shows see a wrong being righted in the same episode. So like the real headline is, local man makes good. But like, I mean, it's true. Like we
totally
never
true
see
until
that.
Yeah.
you, like I said, like this
So
is
you
why
watch the
I hate-
after show?
Yeah, and the Watch What Happens Live that they were on a week ago, where he's like,
because
"Yeah, we're
something
not
has
good."
happened since then. Something
Yes.
has definitely happened, and I think it's like right now I'm choosing to believe that like Janet is just on a downward slide, and so she is really giving Jason his orders now. Like we gotta pump it back up, like get back on the horse with this because Mama's about to go down in flames.
Yeah, not to jump ahead, but like this isn't all the time, but a lot of the times when somebody's like, "Oh, like I cheated. Oh, like I did that. Oh, like I actually could kill people. Oh, like Janet and I sit around and plot out how this
Oh,
show's
she does
gonna."
this all the time. I'm sorry, you were probably gonna say that. Sorry,
Sorry.
sorry.
Bro, I now think you're a serial killer because you just laid into that, like when they were like the ring, or what are they going to tell him? Oh, I'm the Night Stalker, whatever the fuck. Like I wasn't even born yet. Like, bro, too many details.
Yeah.
Dexter. Shut the fuck up. Like, and then like Janet, there was too many of those. Like,
When the
oh,
lady
so
doth
I wish I was
protest
that
too
much.
much.
100. Yeah.
Oh, when she said the thing about Sheena. Well, that's not what happened with Sheena, but I do think that Sheena, I wish that it would have happened that way because Sheena is worthy of a super fan. Like she just like everything is so like I know exactly what they're going to ask.
Happens live. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
really, just for context,
everything-
in case people didn't see that.
Oh,
Andy
yeah.
asked on Watch What Happens Live, can you clear up, like, were you the super fan that knew that Sheena was going to be at this pool party thing this day, and did you stalk her and plan to become friends with her?
That's what she said. And even again, like, Jimmy had that same scene when she was like, "Oh, Detective Doute, I'm 10 steps ahead." A, you're not. B, if there was a world that you were, it's because you spent however much time researching and studying this girl and her friends so that you could infiltrate your weird ass into their group. So you have the playbook. You probably wrote a playbook, and you guys review it every night, and it's disgusting.
Over your dinner casserole.
Yeah, dude. Like in the famous words of Mark, Mike, Connor, "Fuck the fuck off, lady."
Oh yeah, somebody loved
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they really did. So we're spreading the word on that one too.
To go along with just that, like having that, like Jason did something, realizes his mistakes. I don't know how he realized it so quickly. Honestly, like he must have just been in the car and realized that like, that was the poorest performance of his life. I hope that was the poorest performance of your life. Otherwise, I don't know how you ever get a job from here.
Do you want, because I have a quick theory on it. Do you want to know?
Oh yeah.
Because Jason is not a reality tea aficionado. This
Right.
is not right. Like Janet studies this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I do think she knew that they were going to be at the pool that day with Sheena, and I think she infiltrated exactly how she planned it to go down. And I think after he had that experience, and he really was friends with Danny and really did love Danny.
Yeah.
I think he left there because he does have a moral compass that's slowly being eroded by his wife.
Yeah.
I think he got in the car and was like, oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
And I just fell into the trap of reality TV where I went for someone that didn't deserve it. And I really loved this guy. And I think his conscience woke up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened.
Yeah. No,
Why he
that
felt
totally
so bad
makes
so
sense.
quickly.
Maybe he also, maybe in real life, in the real world, at his job, maybe he's actually an excellent arguer. Maybe in the car, realizing how horribly that went for him, and like how, oh my God, everyone in the world is going to just see that. Like maybe because it wasn't right. Everything about it was wrong. Nothing about it was what he was really feeling. And
nothing tracked.
Yeah, nothing tracked and knew in that moment. Because he has made comments about his wife. In the first season, he said, I knew that, we agreed that Janet would, once we started to try to get pregnant, or once she did get pregnant, she would quit her job and just be pregnant and be at home. What I didn't realize is that she was quitting her job to pick up another job as the town gossip. So like he's very like aware of all that stuff, and I think he's stuck in a spot. Like I think he's stuck in a spot, and hopefully this is just one of those things that serves as a reminder, like next time, just...
No, I think he's fully lost now, because clearly they've had some falling out.
Because...
Yeah, no, they're not friends anymore. But you know what I just...
Wait, who isn't friends anymore?
Danny and Jason.
They're on the outs right now.
They're on the outs.
Watch What Happens Live. He was like, somebody said something, and he's like, oh, Danny and I aren't good right now. But I just thought of this, and it's funny that no one has brought it up, and I haven't seen it in the comments. If we have a problem with a friend, right, who gets blackout drunk when he drinks, right, and then maybe he was inappropriate with one of our gay couple friends, right?
Yeah.
And now he's so drunk that he's just passed out all night. Like, didn't we win? Like, that's the guy you want passed out all night, right? Is the handsy motherfucker? What are we complaining about? Like, this just occurred to me that I would be like, oh, fuck, at least Hansy's passed out. Yeah. Why are we so mad? And Jasmine, of all people, why are you mad that the dude's sleeping? You're not getting abused. It's like...
And also, like, it happened. He has not, even though he was blackout drunk, whatever, we'll get into it in the scene.
Yeah.
But like, he said, I am so incredibly sorry. He did not make one excuse for it. And then it's never happened again. So I just think we need to give people the space to grow.
Yeah. Someone else said in a comment, they said something like, we keep hearing them harp about how he's showing this pattern of these things. And the person said, I'm only aware of like this one thing that happened.
Yeah. I think I have that comment too.
Yeah. Like, can someone remind me of like what
the only time? I think there was only the one like handsy incident that we've been told, but I do remember like Jesse and Jason sitting down talking about it, maybe like the first or one of the first big times we heard about this incident. And they were mentioning like there's been a few times, when he does drink. So it did seem like there had been a few times where he just not handsy and inappropriate. That seemed like the only time, but that like, maybe dude needs to stop at 12.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
And I remember that from season 1. I have the comment actually. It's from Jasmine Terry. And she said, hi, I really love the analysis of this show. Thanks. I am confused. I know on the show they're only recalling one event in which Danny was blackout drunk and he touched another person inappropriately. Are there other occurrences that we're unaware of? Also, Danny did apologize soon after he was told about his drunken behavior, in which he did apologize off camera. Danny even corrected the apology toward Melissa, in which he thought it was Michelle. Again, this is all from one event. This last episode just shows that he goes to sleep when he's drunk. So I'm wondering, where is the pattern that Danny is showing to be creepy or inappropriate when drunk?
Yeah.
And I do know in the first season, which Danny has talked about on the after shows, he goes, there was an episode called Dark Danny, and that's when they went to Big Bear for Janet's baby moon.
Yeah.
And he did get too drunk, and he didn't do anything inappropriate. He just like emotionally like totally unloaded. He got in a different episode, he got drunk in Big Bear and got into that fight with his wife. And she was like, you need to stop how you're speaking, like stop acting this way. Like the way you're speaking to me is completely inappropriate. They got into a tiff. So we've seen him drink too much and act shitty. If you see how he acts in normal, non-drinking times, and then when you see him drunk, it is such a vast difference because he really is like an accountable, thoughtful dude that like listens and communicates well and all that stuff. So he's getting it. Like I do see him I don't know. Maybe it's all off camera stuff and they're not talking about it. But again, this is what we said in the beginning of this episode when we started talking about it. You can't give us rumors and drama that happened off the show. We need to see it if you want it to be a storyline.
Yeah.
If you don't, if you're just pissed about it off screen, be pissed about it off camera.
Yeah.
But if you want it to be an A storyline or even a B storyline, we got to see it.
Yeah. And don't go to a party and let something so substantial happen and then just choose not to tell anyone about it and then put a cool tone filter over it 3 episodes later. And Jasmine, for all intents and purposes, she is the victim. Like she doesn't need to have wear it on her jersey for the entire season. And like we can talk about like when that ends. It feels like it ends here. It feels like if there's anything more to come from this, then like that is where the table will turn for me with her. But like, I feel like the way that Bravo has handled this in just this show and how they've showed this story and how they're showing all the stuff about Danny or not showing it, it's affecting people's lives. Like, and then someone else commented like, Danny could like not get work from this, right? Like that's a very real thing out there. Danny's in escrow, okay, for right now. Like you just got to be careful with just how you're choosing
out there.
to how you're choosing to display this entire thing, how you're choosing to let the viewers take it in, and because we're very thoughtful about it because we're doing a show on it. That is not 99.99% of the rest of the people. They're just going to see a headline or catch something while they're getting ready, putting their tie on for work, and then we got that kid Danny on. Is that the kid from the show? Yeah, just toss his resume aside.
Because listen, we've said this time and time again. Yes. You could be someone who, when you drink, you are not the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you are an alcoholic.
Yeah.
It just means that either one, you need to look at your relationship with alcohol and maybe tone it down a little bit or see why you go from 0 to 60 and you have to have 12 drinks. You can't just have like, over the course of the night, a few glasses of wine or whatever, or a cocktail or two. With that being said, Danny has sustained a crazy long resume in this business of day player roles, voiceover acting. He has 3, almost 4 kids. Like, he does seem to have a healthy marriage. I just don't think, and again, I'm not diagnosing someone. I'm just saying it can't be this horrific. He's not Jax.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, you can't do that and consistently show up to work to do these jobs, to be a good parent and all of that if you are really struggling with this. Again, he has a relationship that he might want to look at, that he might want to get healthy with how he drinks, which it sounds like he's doing.
Yeah.
Janet.
Anyway.
Okay, so now we're on Jax's vlog, his rehab vlog. Jax is such a degenerate.
We should skip him. I feel like anytime that he shows up or Britney shows up, we just...
Look, you're bringing out a rash. You're so upset about it.
I'm just...
Well, let me ask you guys a question, because really the big topic with Jax and Britney from this episode is the house stuff that's going on. She announces it at the end of the episode. Do we want to talk about it then, or do we want to talk about it now? Because she also talks about it because he has his vlog saying like, oh, I'm going to see my son today for the first time. And then they meet up, they start talking. And then Britney tells her mom, Luke and Kristen, what happened when they come over to her house. So do we want to talk about the house stuff now or later?
I want to talk about one thing about the vlog.
Please.
The fact that it looks like a really horrible audition tape every time.
It's so bad.
Here's my beef. So I have my sister Lindsay, who I love to death, and she is the most fantastic person in the world and is on the up and up and living an amazing life, a great mom, all the things. There was a time when my sister Lindsay went to rehab. My dad would go to see her. One time he went in there wearing a shirt that said like Bahama Joe's or Eskimo Joe or whatever. And it was like a very Charlie Sheen-esque looking shirt. I'm sure you can just imagine my dad in one of these shirts. Yep. And it had like a big martini glass on it. He couldn't come in. They had to give him a shirt to wear. You can't come into a rehab with those shirts on. He had to change.
Was it like a Mai Tai and all over it said like my place
it was very
or yours?
Hawaiian. And yes, exactly. I think it had like a hula girl maybe
Obviously.
or something. Yeah, like why wouldn't you? But yeah, they wouldn't even let him in there. How is Jax in there at rehab, vlogging from rehab, wearing a Jax's Bar and Grill hat, a Jax's Bar and Grill sweatshirt,
Doing
like
real estate deals with his broker. Like, what the fuck is going on?
all of those things.
And then your therapist got a side hustle to like come to the park with you to
Yeah.
like tell your wife she's crazy.
yeah.
This shit is like this.
No,
is
like
what,
when you
like,
like
every
that's pay to
scene that
play
goes
rehabs.
by-
Like
yeah,
that, like
dude.
if you're paying $30,000 to go
Fucking
to rehab,
bullshit.
it's so there's a reason when you say give me my phone, they won't say no. Because then you'll be like, well, then I'm leaving, and that second half of the check is that second payment. That's not going to clear. So good luck to you. Like I just think that rehabs that cost that much money and are in some incredible spot, probably in Malibu or like wherever. Like I just think it's a racket, as many industries are. You know, I just think it's bad. It's bad business. But the reason I brought this up, because you said I just want to skip over him, because I was thinking about this too. Like, can we skip over Jax? Can we pretend he doesn't exist? And I was also thinking, and I hope this is not the case, but like when ratings suddenly fell off, I can't help but wonder if it had something to do with Jax not being a part of it. And if that's true, he is going to be insufferable.
Yeah.
I hope to God none of you out there in TV land are viewing or not viewing because of Jax's presence. I truly believe that this guy, during their wedding montage at the end, Lisa Vanderpump stands up at their wedding and says, and let me tell you, if you mess with my Kentucky muffin, I'm coming for you. Well, the muffin has been messed with.
Where the fuck are you, Lisa?
Yeah, Lisa, it's stand up.
And where the fuck are you for 10 years now? 11 years now?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, listen, like I like that she lets the show stand and doesn't make it a Vanderpumpy kind of thing. But right now, I truly believe that it is a massive, it is a huge wrong to keep paying this guy who, like, unless you're letting this dude stay on solely because his wages can be garnished to pay off his back mortgage, his back taxes that he never paid for 6 years. Did you hear that her mortgage went from $8,000 a month to $18,000 a month because
that's
he
what I
decided
mean.
not to pay?
I don't know anything about anything, but like, how does your mortgage go up because you haven't
probably
paid
are like have to take a
taxes?
loan and put it into your bank loan. All I'm saying is I'm down to literally ignore him and act like he doesn't exist. But I would just like to challenge Bravo to take a look at like what they're funding, because this is a horrible, horrible person. This guy, there is no redemption story for this guy.
There's not at all.
They told him straight up, we can help him with his alcoholism. We can help him with his drug addiction. We cannot help him with his
bipolar
narcissism.
disorder,
And his
but we
bipolar
cannot
disorder.
cure his
we cannot
narcissism.
cure his narcissism. Who's the one that told us that? Joanne
Britney.
Greco or Brit? No, I mean,
Oh.
from like a long time ago, someone brought it. And I thought it was like way harsh.
it was Joanne Greco.
So Joanne Greco, one of our viewers, brought up to us that you can't cure narcissism. And I remember thinking, like, I wasn't like denying that, but I was like, God, that's really harsh to tell someone with such a gigantic problem. No help for you.
It's terminal. Your personality is terminal.
Your personality is terminal. Yes. So I think that it's just time to recognize that this guy is a lost cause. And again, I know that sounds very harsh, but like he truly is.
He is.
Even Tom Sandoval, I think, has a better shot at change, like by 1,000 than this dude does.
I'll tell you something also. We're doing hot takes. I'm an older person. So like I'm on the fence with cancel culture in the sense that, yes, there are definitely some motherfuckers that need to be canceled and never heard from again. There are some people that need to have a firm talking to, and allowed to have another shot at, being a decent human being. This motherfucker
Should be canceled.
Where are you guys? Let's get to work, okay? Like, this motherfucker is donezo. Should not be around. Should get canceled. Like, see you later, dude. I don't give a fuck about your taxes or who you're Bravo. Peace out. I think it's Pat who's like, I will not give Britney or Jax any second in a half a penny of my energy or money or time. And Pat, you're 100% right. And listen, I don't know if we can get away with that. We're trying to make money on these motherfuckers. but you're right. You're totally right. And these people are shit. Like this motherfucker needs to go.
The last thing I wrote on my notes for this episode is Jax is a degenerate.
Yeah.
Period. And I'm so not that person.
No,
like,
I know. I know you're not.
Like, get me wound up. Carlite actually had asked in one of her comments, like, Courtney, did you ever have a Jersey accent? Put me in front of Jax and I will. I will take my hoops out and I will drop every G on the end of every active verb and I will. Okay. I'll put you in a drawer. Okay. Never knew it was a drawer. Went through 4 years of college speech, dialect work, hanging out with my friend Emily from Louisville, Kentucky. And she's like, girl, where are your takeout menus? I'm like, oh, top drawer on the left. She's like, that's cute. And I'm like, that I keep my menus in a drawer? And she's like, it's called a drawer. I'm like, maybe down south it's a drawer with your Meemaw, but everywhere else in the world it's a drawer. And she's like, it isn't. And I had one of those dictionaries that, like, this was before the internet was what the internet was. So you could plug whatever word into it and you could hit pronounce. So that's why I'm like a stickler with pronunciation.
Yeah.
Once I lost my Jersey accent. And I hit it and it came out drawer. And I was mouth agape. I could not believe it. I was like, for years saying drawer, I felt like I had marbles in my mouth. I'm like, oh, you could just put my socks in my drawer. Drawer. Why do we say it like this? Anyway, he's a degenerate. I hate being so nasty about people, but I cannot, like,
they're making us. You can't put this guy and let him speak words and expect your audience to not be completely insulted by, like, not a single word this guy says has any realness to it. No value. It's less than zero value. It's negative value because he's lying to you, and so you're then reacting to it or getting riled up because of it or having any reaction to it is a complete waste of time. And it's just it's rude. If you want to keep it simple, it's fucking rude that you're keeping this dude around for God knows what. We're all here. You got enough assholes on this show. Trust.
It's many things. Sorry to interrupt. It's many things. Like, it's inappropriate. It's not right. It's a fucking HR situation. I guarantee you. And then at the bottom of that list, it's fucking rude. Like, it's rude to us.
Yeah.
Like, fuck the fuck off. It's rude. But that is that's down towards the bottom of the like reasons this guy should not have any job.
Because we are in the hate to hating him portion of the Jax show.
Right.
There is nothing redeemable about him. We're talking about it, so I'm just going to bring it all up now. Like, when we're talking about this house stuff, this is dangerous behavior, okay? And to give it a platform is dangerous to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could say, like, oh no, people should learn from this. No, because there's other sociopaths out there that are going to be watching this and like, oh, that's a good idea. I should do that to my significant other. This piece of shit knew that she had a 3-month lease on this place, this other house that she had Airbnb.
He knew full
and when
on.
he says, oh, she should have just, sublet it. That's not how Airbnbs work. You can't sublet your sublet on Airbnb, okay? There's laws against that. She got it clear to film there. There are a lot of steps that she had to take to get, and she got it for 3 months because you are filming, you asswipe. So for you to now turn around and say, I didn't realize she did that. Well, you kicked her out of the house that she paid for, okay? That she partially paid for, that she paid half of it. I don't give a shit how much money she put into. It was also her home. It was also your child's home. You dark, disgusting excuse for a human being.
A child who thrives with consistency.
Correct. Can I have a course? Mm-hmm. But so he knew that she had a 3-month lease for all of the reasons that the viewers know she has a 3-month lease. So if I knew, then thanks, Mike. Then you can bet your bippy that Jax knew. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Also, you're disgusting from jump just by the sheer fact that you let them leave the house. your child who thrives on consistency so that you can have some hua up in this, some honey and a half shirt, which by the way, go out, be a honey and a half shirt, but like not in this situation. Okay. This is just, all of this is so dark and so gross. And at the end of him in the after show, when he's like, I don't understand. She could have done this. She could have done that. You haven't paid the mortgage since February. Okay. You are now being this is a flagrant foul, okay?
And the story went on for so long, which we were talking about. The longer he talks, the more, like when Kristen used to say he would just be an hour late to like wherever we were going, and then he would be like, you could just say there was a ton of traffic, but with Jax is this guy came out of nowhere and hit me and flipped my car over the like a story that you're like, your car's right there,
unscathed.
Like,
Not even, there isn't even like bird poop on it. You're telling me that like you're missing your fender and three to four tires. But here's the thing. So he goes through this whole gobbledygook spiel as to why she should have just stayed in the house. Bro, she was fighting you to stay in the house the entire time. We all know this, right? I don't need to repeat it. And then at the end of him defending, going on for 15 minutes, defending his stance on the house, he goes, listen, should I have asked her, if this was the right thing to do, or how long was her lease? Yeah, right. So everything you said is fucking nonsense. You are a vile human being who should be quarantined away from the rest of humanity. You should be castrated so that you can never have a child again. You should be in therapy 5 to 28 days a week. You should
give piss tests.
You should be having drug tests. You should have supervised visits. Britney, I love you. And I get that you're starting to see who this guy really is and put your fist down. You need to block him. The power of the block is real. Only communicate through court-ordered people or if there's I'm not saying like you can't learn to co-parent with someone. Not where this motherfucker is today. Where he is today, he's dead. You pretend he's dead.
Correct. Like, not only are you not going to get anything from him that you need, it's going to make everything worse. Like I said, he's worth negative amount of everything.
No, he has emotionally put you in debt. Yeah. He has financially put you in debt.
Yeah.
He has mentally put you in debt. He has probably been a detriment to your child.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. I don't think you have been a good parent.
No, you've been a shit dad, a motherfucker.
You had enough money.
He goes, I was a shitty husband, but I was a great dad. No, bro. Like, what does that even mean to you?
You were on coke.
Yeah.
That's not father of the year behavior.
Yeah, and you're flipping tables with the kid in the other room.
You had enough money to go out and keep this behavior afloat and actively not pay your mortgage. Yeah. And someone could say,
not even tell anyone, not even tell the people that share your home that are relying on this roof.
She's paying her bills.
Them. Yeah. For what? Like.
And then when he says it's him and Jesse that drive me crazy when they say this stuff. Any person in their right mind has a breaking point, or they would do this or they would do that. No. I've had significant others in my life and I've never hit below the belt. Never, not once, not ever. And you can damn believe that I would not do it when there are cameras rolling if I had a child that could hit pause, play, and rewind on that moment over and over again to see them treat their parent that way. No, I wouldn't do it. I haven't and I wouldn't. Okay, Jesse? And when Jax is like, people make mistakes on their taxes all the time. You didn't make a mistake on your taxes, Jesse. You didn't pay them.
For 6 years.
That is an active choice. That's not a mistake.
A mistake.
Okay?
But like, you're making that much money. It's one thing for people that are just like massively struggling and like working jobs here and there. And then like by the time that the bill comes due, it's like, well, I haven't worked in 4 months. So like, I don't know, like,
correct.
Like there's a lot of that in this city. And like, we totally get that. This
100%.
guy was making a bajillion dollars and just year after year, you're going,
right, so that you could buy a house that you couldn't afford, or so that you could drive a car that you couldn't afford, or you could buy drugs that you couldn't afford. Like,
it's America. What do you guys?
No,
Let's stick to the real problems, okay?
Of course, there are people that I get it. The situations are different. That's not what we're talking about with Jax. Jax is such a degenerate. It is the only word that, you look up degenerate in the dictionary, and Jax Taylor's face, Danny Kochke, what's his real name? Jason Coochie.
Caccio.
Kachi. There's no O on it, I think. I think it's just Kachi.
Barf.
Anyway, sorry, Mike, you were going to say something. He gets me. He grinds my gears.
I don't want to say what I was going
No,
to say.
what were you going to say?
Listen, I
Kill
don't.
him.
No. And nothing he does is excusable. So please don't say. But the only time that I had even a little eyelash of like, oh, I can get with that, was when he said in the after show, it was right after I found out that she had slept with their friend, whatever.
No.
And that's when he fucking lost it and was like, I don't fucking care. I don't care anymore. Everyone can fuck off. And that's when he stopped paying for everything. I would never do that to anyone, I don't think, especially Natalie. But I get that place of being so not giving a fuck that I'm not doing anything. Everyone can fuck themselves.
But here's the thing. You're doing it to your child.
100%. Like,
So,
I get,
right?
I'm not like, it
No,
was
I
a
know you're not
horrible
defending
thing.
him.
It was just the only time, that's why it's like, I don't even want to say this because
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be like, oh, but if I'm being honest, that was the only moment I've had with Jax where I was like,
But also, let's
With
talk
you
about this then for a second, because him and Jesse both do it, and it annoys the ever-loving piss out of me. You were both horrible husbands. Jax, you cheated on Britney. You were out doing drugs while she was at home raising your child. You fell behind on
okay,
paying.
but let's also not like be like, oh, this poor Britney at home.
No,
It's
no,
like
okay,
Britney was also
I'm
partying
not saying that
and
Britney's an
doing
angel.
drugs.
I'm not saying Britney's an
No.
angel. I'm just saying you're separated. She can sleep with whoever she wants to sleep with. You are not together. You are inviting girls back to your house and taping playing cards over the camera systems that you installed in this house so that she can't see what's going on. You're getting your dick wet. She can sleep with whoever she wants. I'm out on that. I don't care who. Sleep with his brother at this point for all I care. I'm out on shaming her because she slept with someone that was on the fringe group of their friends. By the way, to fall in love with Tom Sandoval or Schwartz for all I care and marry him and ride off into the sunset.
Don't put Schwartz in this
I'm just
group
saying,
of degenerates.
The whole thing of like,
Schwartz you should see Schwartz in the after shows. He's seriously sitting there like, why am I placed with these two schmoes?
correct.
Like,
How did I get the short end of the stick
Yeah.
here? I'm just saying, I'm so annoyed with him using this as an excuse. I cracked as any man would because she slept with a friend of mine. You weren't real friends. This guy probably doesn't even know when your birthday is. I'm sure he doesn't even know what your real name is, Jason. Like, get over it. You treated her like shit. You were a horrible husband, and you guys are separated. She can sleep with whoever she wants.
Lala brought it up. Said something perfectly that just like describes exactly like what the MO of these narcissists do. And it's like you do one thing wrong and then they use that it's like a magnet to them. And it's like then it negates everything else that happened. So it's like you either have to be a perfect person going in with like you're just like a fucking robot and that knows exactly like that's not okay, this is okay, like or it doesn't matter because there was a one time when Britney called and said maybe we should try this again or whatever, and then ever since then, and every time Jax is in an interview, he's like she's been trying to sleep with me this whole time. Okay, it was one time. They were married for however long. I'm not excusing Britney. I have so much beef with Britney. I just want to just tick her hair and the thing that I really
Hold on,
really,
just go like this.
I know that's how mad I am as I know it's there.
Oh, okay. I don't want you to get all sad.
When she's telling that whole story about the mortgage and the new lease and whatever,
the pool scene or which? What do you mean?
I mean, she tells everyone the story twice. First, she tells it to like people
Luke
that are at her house,
yeah.
with her mom when her mom was dressed like Fred Flintstone.
Not Fred Flintstone. Who's Fred Flintstone's wife?
Wilma.
Wasn't Wilma though. Look at Fred Flintstone.
Is that Fred's outfit?
It's Fred's outfit.
Wilma has
And,
like
you
a
know,
blue dress, right?
I can't even remember, but they're all
didn't
dresses at that time, so it's not even it's fluid. So
They were
it
so ahead of
really
their
is
time back in the caveman days.
But okay, I just want to know. I got the feeling that when she's telling this story about like he said that he wants to try to date again, fresh start. And he doesn't think it's great, like we should live in different places, or he doesn't think that he should move home. And I tell him, well, I already got this other thing. And then he tells me, well, I just got this thing. I swear to God, am I crazy? Or did you guys get the vibe that like she was actually entertaining this until she found out that he hadn't paid the mortgage in however many months, and that he had got like a stabbing cabin right next to Schwartzy, who, by the way, Schwartz says he had no idea about this and he never sees it.
I know Schwartz is probably so bummed that this is his neighbor.
Like him and Katie were on a podcast together, Katie Maloney, and she was like, how bummed are you that he has now, this is now the second place that you've lived that he's infiltrated without a heads up, basically just showing up, knock, knock, knock. Howdy, neighbor. I just rented the place next door. He did that when he was married to Katie Maloney, and then did it again now. And
Mr. Rogers, but it's, won't you be my neighbor?
Yeah.
I think Schwartz is like, no,
God,
no,
please
take your
no.
cardigan and your shoes and leave the valley, leave California.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Did you get the idea though that she was,
I don't know. I think I'm in such a kerfuffle about Jax that I didn't pick up on it. Not that I don't think that you're off base. I think you could be onto something.
Because it's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's a big problem.
But I do think she's fully 100% like he is the plague. She is out on him.
Yeah.
And I just want to say one thing about that narcissist comment that
Lala
made, because I think it was completely accurate.
Yeah, she's so good with this stuff. I mean, she experienced it hardcore.
This is why I think in a normal breakup situation, yes, don't hook up with friends. If you fall in love with someone who's on the outskirts of your friends group, like maybe before you do anything, you talk to the significant other. If you're having a healthy, normal uncoupling, as they say, okay? This is not the situation.
No, this is not that.
So for him to have been this much of, again, a degenerate over the course of a decade, and for her to have maybe possibly done one thing that could be considered not kosher, I don't care, because you have been the biggest piece of shit on planet Earth. I get a bogey. I get to not be perfect. I get to have sex with someone who wants to sleep with me, because all you told me for years was how gross I was and that you didn't want to touch me. And we haven't had sex in months.
But who's giving her shit for having sex with this person other than Jax?
Oh, Jax.
But who cares what Jax, like
No,
everything
I'm
he
arguing
says
with Jax
is,
right now.
I wish that she would have stood up and been like, yeah, I did it on purpose.
And he was better than you and bigger than you and actually made me have an orgasm.
Didn't Jax bang Britney and say she came twice?
Oh, yeah, then maybe say three times.
So she have to 3 times.
If she was entertaining going back to him again up until just the moment that she realized that he had leased an apartment that was basically just supposed to be his smash pad, and also hadn't paid their rent, because that can get a woman who has a kid who is like already like, I'm sure that they have a shit ton of bills because of the lifestyle they have, and because the kid needs what he needs. So like there's just so much money that like she's probably
It's
just
so
watching just be blown into the wind, and then to think like, oh my God, if he hasn't been paying 8 times I carried this. Like to think, I think she said something like close to like $100,000 was basically what she. But like that can make someone go nuts. But I wish to God that it was anything except money. I wish that there had been any other thing, because I really believe that because you don't answer, well, I just rented this place though. That's not your first response. Your first response is, are you high? No, we're not dating again. We can't start fresh. You know why? Because we have a life. We have a child. We have a mortgage. We have all these things. But like, I have always thought it's just going to take one lonely night for her. And you could say, oh, he's just getting out of rehab. She's just trying to see if he's changed. She knows he hasn't. He has been text blasting her the most vile, horrible things this entire time.
He's gotten worse, probably.
He's gotten worse.
He's learning how to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, so finally professional.
And now he has tools.
Yeah.
An accredited degree.
Exactly.
I also think though, when he was saying in the after show, like, this is why people like Jax get me so irritated, because it's not the truth. When he's like, so I paid it. I paid the bill. Oh, remember that
hefty check, writing that check.
$200,000. Oh, it was a tough. Did you see Schwartz when they said it? Like Schwartz was like the look on Schwartz is.
Walk out, Schwartz.
Listen,
stand up and go. Good luck to you guys. I can't.
Listen, we're gonna get to this. I'm
Don't you
still.
even.
I'm not. I'm still party of Schwartz.
So it's like 8 new people.
But
I was just gonna say.
I do need this dude to. I can't trust anybody who refuses to talk shit.
You want to know what I think it is?
I need you to talk some shit, dude. Like, I can't trust you anymore. I like you. You're fun. I want to hang out, but I'm not taking your advice. I'm not asking you about anybody. If you tell me about somebody, I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Have you seen how all these kids are? Like Sheena, Lala, Brock, Schwartz. Like they are there, like they are no ones right now. Like Schwartz has more of a role than any of them do on a consistent basis. But I feel like they're all like, this isn't our show, but it could be. Just like lay low, and like speak when spoken to, and like don't go like Jax. This is clearly Jax's show. Schwartz just lost an entire restaurant, however, like a money pit full of money. Like, I got a feeling Schwartz needs this gig, and I'm not, it's not an out. I understand exactly what you're saying. I need Schwartz I personally think at this point now, after all said and done, Schwartz could stand up and be like, I can't sit here in this 3-pod anymore. Like, this
especially
isn't.
with these two assholes.
I agree.
Even
I'm just
Jesse
saying,
was
like, there could
sitting
be-
there being like,
I know.
come on, guys. I'm not that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. Like, give me somebody else.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that those people are waiting there. They're like, put me in, coach. Like, because there's, as we talk about all the time, there's a plethora of people out there that are like not watching this show. Some people are still watching our show just because they're cool, but like not watching the show, which is so great, but also horrible for them. Like when they could just watch a show where half of the cast is an absolute shitbags. Yeah. And I think that like, you know, Jesse and Michelle, if you guys don't figure something out, for both of you in totally different ways, you got Brock and Sheena on deck that are just waiting to come in. They're gonna bring it down a little bit. Lala, I feel like, is the last person they'd probably consider because she's kind of like as harsh as, she's not trash like they are. I love Lala, big Lala fan, but like she is harsh. Schwartz should replace Jax. Like, just take that. Like, you need a bucket of hearts in here right now. Like, you don't need all these horrible people. And I feel like all those people are just on standby waiting.
I feel like we're at one of those like Brazilian meat restaurants. Yeah. You know, like when you first get there, you're like, yeah, green paddle. And now you're just like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
This is too much.
Yeah. Because recently I said, don't bring in all these people and make it part deux of Vanderpump, you know, like I think I might have said that literally a week ago, that like you got enough great people here with a lot of story, but like the story has it's gone off. We're off the rails a little bit. Yeah. And you gotta pump up the good vibes, tame down the dark horses. Party of Schwartz.
Well, we are getting into a good scene actually, because I did think this is part of why I do like reality TV. When we're now at the brewery with Jasmine and Jasmine's girlfriend, now fiance, Melissa and Danny. First of all, I really appreciated that Danny was like, I will take water.
What was he gonna do?
Lame. Yeah, like...
Oh. Well, just think about it. Like,
sure,
let's meet at a brewery.
Also, so
and
stupid
we're ordering
to meet
beers.
at that place.
And I fucking dare you to,
do
Danny.
it.
Like, that's what it. That's
but
how
I just
I
think
felt.
it's an easy trap, and like I think anyone else would have been like, yeah, I'll take a vodka on the rocks, and he's like, I'll.
Not for him. Like it's a wide open. Like, are you guys? Did you lay this trap out for me?
He did.
Look, okay, I'm just gonna go around, and then for Jasmine to be like, clocking the water, like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well,
come on.
Okay, let's step over that. I didn't realize it was going to be such a hot topic. I did think when they sat down and they were talking, and they had said this before, Jasmine had said it before, like if Jasmine was a guy and Melissa was, that's his girlfriend.
What are you trying to say?
Well, you know what I'm saying. If this was a heterosexual couple and Danny grabbed the girlfriend, this would be such a bigger deal.
Especially if it was someone wholesome like Nia.
You know what's funny?
Like Britney, probably people would have been like, whatever, Britney.
It probably would. I know we've talked about it would be a fight and then it would be done.
Yeah.
To be totally honest.
Yeah.
And that's why it's such a big deal. Is because Jasmine can't fight Danny. Melissa can't fight Danny. That's I think what Melissa was saying too, is like, this is what sucks for me. You know, like, I want to punch you. She wasn't literally saying
Yeah.
that, but like, and that was the thing that I was trapped. Cause like, again, if somebody did that to, like, we're throwing blows, like something's happening. One of us is getting knocked out. Right. But that's probably the end of it after that. Right. Like, girls can't fight dudes. So it's got to be, if a dude came up to Natalie, here's a perfect example. If a dude came up to Natalie in this situation and the guy was 6'7" and a UFC fighter and 240, and I was like, I love you, but like, I will do my best, but this is not going to end up well for me. Like, I'm going to get a lick in, but he might not even feel it, right? So like, that's the situation that Jasmine is in right now.
And also, men and women don't physically fight each other. Like, that's not a thing, hopefully.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Or not supposed to be. But I also do really understand what Jasmine was saying when she kind of broke it down, where it's like, it's not taken as seriously. Like, oh, it's fine. Like, they get it. The girls get it. And it's like, no, like, this is my girlfriend. Like, Nia is your wife. Don't do that. And I don't want to have to defend the seriousness of my relationship. Right. We are headed towards marriage and a lifetime of being together and starting a family and all of that. And it just seems like that he didn't give a light apology. I do think he really said, like, I am so sorry. I feel badly about this. But it wasn't to the level of if they were a heterosexual couple. It just wasn't. And I liked how she broke it down for him, because it made me understand, like, oh shit, because I also at the beginning was like, well, he apologized, so like, isn't it okay? But then when she explained the defending of the relationship and all of that, and it would be different if we were a heterosexual couple, I was like, oh, that does make sense. And again, I think Danny handled it so well. I think he said, I didn't put myself in their shoes. I understand it now. I apologize. To me now, this is dead and buried. We have a clean slate. If it comes up again, I fear I'm going to turn on someone, because I'm not going to understand. Yeah. And I'm not trying to get ahead, but because I don't know what
I'm
happens.
with you. I'm with you, because it does seem like it does come up again. Because I feel like we saw it in the scenes from like the rest of the season. They did like that super
super trailer,
second half of season teaser trailer.
Still to come on this season.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I don't remember anything coming up about it.
I can't even remember what it was, but it's somebody just basically saying like Jasmine, like it's Jasmine saying something. I can't. Do you remember specifically who said what in it?
I could have sworn it was like Jasmine bringing it up again, but also it could be a weird edit. It could be a funny cut. So I want to believe that we're dead and buried and we're moving on from this, because Jesus, it seemed like such a good bow on it. Everyone understands. We're moving on with life.
Yeah.
We've learned. Everyone's learned. People at home have learned.
Yeah, because there will be no more defending the way that Jasmine's handling this if she continues on with it. Because I was trying to think of like, what could he possibly say or do? Like, I think that the biggest problem that she has with this whole thing is it like, I've gotten the idea that like Danny has been a really great friend, super wholesome, really there for them. Like, I think that he's been a pristine figure in their life. And so like the fact that like this happened was such an even bigger bummer that it had to happen from him. It's like, it's a loss when someone kind of drops down from that. So there's that. And I can totally acknowledge that and understand like why a bigger hit would take longer and be harder to get over with and just drop it, because like it's a loss. But what could he possibly do to right this? Like there's truly nothing else to be said. The only thing he could do maybe is like vow to like never have a drink when Jasmine is around, which I'm not even saying that he could do that, but like truly I was just trying to take a minute to think of like what's a good faith offering.
Well, no, Jasmine said it. Like, she just, actions speak louder than words. So she accepts his behavior. She believes that he genuinely is sorry. I just have to, my dad used to say this all the time. Don't say sorry, just don't do it again. Yeah. So just, amend your behavior. Right. And I think we'll be straight. So unless Danny.
Also say sorry.
No. Yes, of course. I'm saying like to add on to what Jasmine's saying. Like, yes, talk can be cheap because we've seen people a million times on shows like this be like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't, and then they go and do the thing that they were apologizing for all over again.
Yeah.
So I just think if Danny can, get a better relationship with alcohol or whatever his thing is and not do stuff like this again, I think they'll be straight, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that you nailed it. I think because like we talked about, Jesse grabbed Kristen's wasted and it wasn't even a thing.
Because
it was like a 2 second, and granted that was the like, what would I just say? It was like 2 dudes and Luke did be like, yo dude, I didn't appreciate that. That's some bullshit. Fucking man to man, blah, 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 whatever. And Jesse was like, I don't remember, but like if I'm sorry and I'll apologize. And that was it. It was squashed.
Yeah.
But like Jesse grabs your ass.
You're like, I'm surprised he didn't finger bang me at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm just grateful that I didn't get pregnant from this.
Yeah, Jax does it. Like it's not it's a smack maybe or a fuck you, and it's
Jax
done.
pantses you.
Yeah, like
your
your
little
not
churro
happening
is making
again.
a forced cameo.
But Jason does it, and Danny does it. Like Danny is. I think you nailed it. I think like it's creepier when your uncle grabs your ass than the dude at the bar.
When like your preacher uncle.
Yeah, totally. I know Harris is gonna have a field day. No one touched my Skittles. I know you're thinking that.
Harris,
but
I don't think left any comments in the whole valley. I was wondering.
No, he
if this...
did. I think he came in today, or was that?
Really?
He was on vacation. He went on vacation.
Oh, okay.
He
I was
did
gonna
say-
do a wellness
I was like
check.
thinking, did Harris's account get cut off too? Because
No,
like
he was
nothing was there.
busy
I'm like,
today.
this isn't like Harris.
So
He
much
just-
to say about my hacked account or my shitty account. Okay, now we're into the brunch with Luke and Jesse and Kristen. I have said this from jump. I know that you guys agreed with me, but I really think it's becoming so transparent now. Jesse does not like Kristen. He doesn't agree with her. He wanted her on Team Jesse in the beginning of all of this. And trust me when I say it's only a matter of time before they're locking horns. Because when they're sitting at this lunch and Kristen is saying, well, you better watch it, Jason, because you take your wedding ring off.
Yeah.
And when you go out, and we all know it, Jesse was like, I don't want any part of this. I don't think anyone should be talking about their marriage. Oh, now you're the morality police.
Yeah.
Now you think things are sacred and what happens in people's marriages should stay in between the two married people. That's rich.
Kristen said on Watch What Happens Live that there is another person that is not Janet, not anybody that we already knew about, that she is at war. Like, I don't think it was at war, but like
That's on
like
their
it's on
the
like
shit
they're
list.
on they're out now, and I don't know if it's him, but it seems very likely it could be him.
That's what this scene showed me. Like, you see Jesse does not like Kristen.
Oh.
He thinks like it lowers his brand.
I just don't know if he sees that yet. I think
He's seeing it here.
okay, right. I think that he's also just like when he like later on when he goes and like warns whoever he warns, like, hey, they're coming for you.
Jason.
I think that he's also truly like, listen, that thing with Kristen could totally be a thing. I don't know. But I also think that he's in the business of gathering as many fans as he can. Like, if he could have it his way, it would be him on good terms with everyone and isolating Michelle out, like just making it where like she doesn't exist anymore and she officially loses. Jesse wins. Team Jesse for everyone, like I think that that's his end all. So
Never gonna happen.
I agree. I think Jesse was like you said, he did the same thing Michelle did at Dave & Buster's. I'm going to go see who I can get on my team and kick Jesse out of the house.
Yeah.
He did it prior. I'm going to get everyone on my team and win this battle. He needed Kristen for that because Kristen is Kristen, right? She's the number one guy in the group. And so he made that happen, right? At the tea party. And now we've had a few weeks of like, oh, Kristen's not so bad. They're like, this is a good ally to have.
Yeah.
And now we're at lunch and Kristen's like, well, he doesn't wear his wedding ring. And now Jesse's having flashbacks of, well, she's a racist and a Democrat or a Republican. And he's like, oh, son of a bitch.
I hitched my wagon to the wrong
This
car.
fucking crazy bitch. And he looks at Luke, and even Luke is like, oh, I was doing so good. I'm almost there. Which I'm like, I think Luke, I'm like obsessed with Luke now. Like I'm Luke forever.
Same.
Like, and I think you had mentioned like Luke is a good influence on her like a week or so ago. Kristen, like shit stir, talking shit,
She's
spreading
a social
rumors.
justice warrior, Mike.
Oh my
I know,
God,
when
don't
she
even.
said that,
I'm
I
not
was
even,
like,
I
Kristen,
can't. I'm not even going to talk about that because I will lose my goddamn mind. But like before, she's not admitting it. Even last year, it took 5 episodes to be like, fine, I heard it from so-and-so. Fine, she's had a boyfriend for a year, right? Now Kristen's like, here's what I'm doing. I'm doing this because you did this.
Yeah.
And
Which I
it's
appreciate. She's like,
No,
you
I
came for
love
me, I'm coming for
That's
you.
Luke, though. I think Luke is like, that's step one.
Oh, you think that Luke is basically like telling her, you got to be upfront with why you're doing this.
Either that or he's in the process of weaning this behavior out of her. And this is a phase of that behavior. Like, you know, you do this crazy shit, right? No, I don't. You do. Okay, fine, I do. Okay, I'm going to let that go. Now, you need to stop doing that behavior, right? No, I don't. Fine, I will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just phase 1 of Luke's boot camp. But she'll be taking over Lexi's space next week.
It's becoming believable because I believed her in this next scene. Like I was following her, and we don't like just tell me when we're starting that scene. I don't want to jump into it. Just like the
shark party.
we're
We're here. We're at the shark party.
Okay. Her bringing up this thing, I'm sure to a lot of people, everyone probably was like, oh God, not again. Crazy Kristen's coming around the corner. You know, like I understand that this was very reminiscent of old Kristen. I also it also played very much to me like a Lindsay's dinner table takedown about the lemur girl, you know, where it was just like, well, thank you for providing the receipts. Like that's how that ended. Like that, it was just a real reach. And I think we've all, you know, accepted that like Lindsay's just trying to show up for work and do her job and prove that she can still do her job, even though she's pregnant and out of the game.
Mission
of it,
accomplished.
You know? Yeah, mission accomplished, totally. So when Kristen brings this up, like that argument held about as much water as the lemur. You were texting the lemur girl's family and whatever, you know, but while we were still engaged. But then I realized, because she was so straightforward with everything, she's talking about what she did. Janet is like, cuts her off and goes, I just want to know if you're sorry for what you've done. And she's like,
no, but she said it as though she had a cashmere cardigan on, pearls, and like it was 1950s, and she just brought over a pie, and was insulted. She's sitting there and she's like, "I just want to know that you feel badly talking about the breadwinner, the husband that father of my child
and future."
Like, shut up, Janet.
I know.
Shut up.
But it was just, was so good. No, please. It was so lovely to watch Janet just like, you're trying, like, Kristen's throwing it at her forehead and going, this is why I'm doing this. Janet is so in her own gameplay, like she's already mapped this whole thing out, how it's going to go, that like she's not even hearing what she's saying to her. She's trying to tell her, you went after my friend, so I decided to come after you. I just want to know if you're sorry. No, bitch, that's not what this is. I'm trying to tell you what this is. Even Jason starts to understand. Jason goes, oh, so basically you're like, he did this thing to him, so now I'm going to ask myself, what do I know about him, and use that. And Luke goes, essentially.
Eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Cut to Janet. I know Detective Doute thinks she's so smart, but I'm always 10 steps. Bitch, you're 10 steps behind. You're not even in the race started and ended, and you're still at the starting gate, like, getting your shit together, tying your little
No,
shoes.
she's complaining about her number. Like, I pre-registered for an even number. This is clearly an odd number. They're like, the race has started.
They're packing up. Like, bitch, this shit's over.
So daft. Like, we're telling you. I'm here to tell you, you want to bring up a bunch of bullshit? Have you met me? I've been doing that. I've been playing this since you were in braids, bitch. Like, I can do this all night. You want to go again? Okay, I'll go again. And you know what I'll do? I'll all of your camera scenes are going to be taken up with talking about some bullshit. All the times you appear on Watch What Happens Live, it's going to be bogarted with some little bullshit. All the comment sections, I hear you're in Reddit. I hear that Janet has like 40 Reddit accounts and is like battling people in Reddit all the time. All of that. We'll do all of that too. Do you still want to keep going? She still doesn't get it, and they're telling her exactly what she's doing. She finally gets up and like walks away because she just like doesn't even have any words left. But Janet, it's like not just that, like it's not just stupefying to watch her play out of her league. Like the pros have literally called a timeout to explain the game to you, and you're like, yeah, but watch out, I'm at bat, and they're like, no, you're in the dugout. This isn't where
you're playing volleyball.
This is a volleyball.
What are you doing with a baseball bat?
Yeah.
And so it just is so good. I really felt like they let this whole scene play out the way that it did, and like showed Kristen so clearly exactly what she was saying, because they're just showing you like this girl who thinks she has studied, she thinks she has taken a Harvard class on how to reality. And like, it's like how people always tell you there are some jobs that like you can take 20 MBAs, 20 degrees
Motherhood.
on, but if you've never, like, I would sooner have a PA rise to executive producer than a fucking USC film school kid come in and hire them. What?
1,000,000,000%.
Yeah, because there are some jobs that like you got to do them to know what the fuck to do.
Every time there's like a shitty person up in our business, a PA, for those of you who don't know, is a production assistant. There's like the entry level job in entertainment, and you got to do it. You should do it. Many kids don't. Not many. Some kids don't. But anytime there's like that shitty person on the crew or the staff, there will inevitably come a day where they say, I wasn't even a PA. I just went straight to whatever. And everyone will be like, that's why you're a fucking dick.
Wait, Vic Vaca, you remember that he had that email that when he first started on AGT, it was just Vic the PA at Gmail?
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you have got to keep that email forever because you are going places here and you will be an executive producer one day. And I would kill to have Vic the PA at Gmail be the executive producer's email. Of course, he let it go for like 2 weeks. And then I saw him, he had a new one. Like after that, he just like couldn't hold on because he did get promoted. Yeah. And I think he wanted to
Vic
like not
the
have it.
PA runs the entire contestant department on AGT now.
Yeah.
Vic the PA has 4 people underneath Vic the PA. He's definitely on his way to going places. Yeah. But I was going to say something super funny and you made me forget.
I just would like to let everyone know I've never had the cinnamon dots before, and they're amazing.
Are you serious?
You never tried one of them this whole time?
No, never, not once, not ever.
You never thought you wanted a pretzel that was dessert. I didn't.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm sending all of our comments to Dots Corporate because there are people that are like,
I have some circle.
We got dots. I got the dot. We bought some dot. Because of you, we went and got dots. It's...
hand to God, we have no relationship with
this
company.
Really do not.
Hopefully one day we will.
No, that would be
we won't
great.
Because they'll be like, why? You guys are selling
Doing
all
it
that
for free.
shit for us.
I'll say this, and I'm sure that everybody has said it, and God knows it will go right out the window with the right check amount. But like, I would love to reach out before we ever get any brand deals. I would love to reach out to all the companies that were like, we don't just use this. We fucking love this.
We snort your pretzels.
Yes, exactly. Because I never want to be one of those people that's like has an ad on about something that it's like,
No, well, anything we hawk you when it comes to that point is definitely shit that we're going to like. And if it's gross, then just know we're getting paid.
Yeah.
Like a bunch. Like so much that we can lie to you.
It's this if it sucks.
Like so much that when you call me to tell me you hate it, I will send you a check because it will be 0.0001% of what I'm getting paid to tell you
to hawk this shit.
Yeah, you can. We'll guarantee it if it's that bad.
Everybody
You'll love it. You'll love the way you look. I guarantee it. Okay, wait. I just need to say this, Janet. If we're listening, which we know you are.
Yeah.
When she made that comment, like, and when my husband's traveling, I put an air tag on him. I need you to know
for safety.
That is not okay.
I'm pretty sure that's not even legal.
Like if she puts
I don't
in
think
his
that
jacket.
She's being serious. I
thought she was being serious.
Oh my God. I totally took it as a joke, but one that was so stupid because it was a joke like that all of her jokes are prepared, you know?
It was
So
one
it's
of
like
those
a joke that
jokes
she
like,
pre-did, like, it'll seem self-deprecating, but it'll be funny, but it did not land at all because, like, you are that bitch.
yeah, no, 100%. Like when he was like, oh, what are they going to tell me? I'm the Night Stalker. And then we find out in 3 years that, yeah, these two have been fucking traveling around murdering like homeless girls forever.
But
like,
even if it's not
That's not
true,
making
let's
it
just
in.
say, and Mike and I both believe that it is, that she was being
No, maybe
the
she
serious.
was, yeah.
I do believe it. You build a relationship on trust, not, oh, because I have your location in my phone, I know you're not cheating on me. Newsflash. I watch so much Dateline and every one of those docuseries of like crazy shit happening with husbands and wives. I'm now very deep into the Karen Reed case, if anyone knows what that is. You can have someone's location. You can have an air tag up there on noose. Okay. If someone wants to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. So it's not, you either trust your partner or you don't. Like, so Janet's sitting here being like, I know everything he does. And my face is the ID on his phone. And I have an air tag in his prostate gland and all this stuff. It's like, okay, then all you've proved is that you're a psycho. You need a hobby and possibly couples therapy.
You know what I always
'Cause it's
wonder
just
if
not-
she thinks about?
You guys aren't like that. You've been together for 800 years.
I don't know where this guy is. He could have a second family during
dude,
the day.
seriously, we've been together almost 16 years. I think the only time that we did a tracker thing is when I drove to Oklahoma because you wanted to make sure I wasn't dead or something.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, because you were, it was a drive.
Yeah, I
you
was
were driving
driving,
from
yeah.
here to Oklahoma.
But yeah,
I think, and I think this is true. You might give it a goog, but if somebody slips an air tag, like puts it under your car or like puts it in your wherever, and you have an iPhone, your iPhone should tell you, hey, there's a tag nearby, and then you'll know whether or not like, oh, that's my tag, or
automatically, or you have to like go and be like, is there any?
no, I think it's like a notification that pops up.
I walked my friend's dog. They were out of town and they had an air tag on the dog, which actually isn't the best thing to use because it doesn't, if your phone's not around
Yeah.
or what, you don't get the, something like that. I don't know what it is. I just saw it on an Instagram thing. It's not good. And it popped up being like,
Yeah.
there's an air tag by your phone.
Yeah. So if you ever see that, any girls driving around by themselves, if you see that, call the authorities.
Jason,
Because-
we're talking to you.
I know. But you know what I think that I would say that like Janet doesn't have anything to worry about with Jason because I just like, it seems like she wouldn't like at face value. But if you think about it, Janet's probably like, no, I buttered this little bitch up. It's just going to take one other strong bitch to do it and he'll be gone. So
or like
Or
we
just a
heard
nice
somewhere,
person.
I don't know where.
I don't think
Janet's
that would
in
work. I don't think a nice person would work. I think he would. I think he likes to be manhandled,
I think,
Jan handled.
or they are open like because Janet likes the threesomes.
Oh yeah,
So
she probably
maybe-
keeps him around with dangling that.
Yeah,
little
maybe he
carrot.
doesn't have
When
to
did she
cheat.
say she likes threesomes?
She wanted to have a threesome
Vanderpump.
with. Do you remember the girl Dana? Dana now does a podcast with Katie Maloney
Yeah.
with her and the guy Max from Vanderpump.
You mean Elisa's son?
Oh shit! Is there another guy named Max?
Yeah, I don't think it's.
I don't think it
Lisa's
was
son.
Lisa's son.
No offense,
Blonde?
but I'm not sure.
No, but,
No, oh,
like,
okay.
Wasn't there another Max that Dana was
Yeah.
dating?
Or there was a Max that was like one of
Maybe
the servers or something,
Yeah.
or that was
Yeah, I don't
around for
remember.
a while later on. But anyways, there was a storyline for a hot second that and they were at the bar and they're like, "Oh, what do you think about threesomes?" She's like, "I love threesomes." Janet said that. So
Sure.
No, they like told Sheena about it, and it feels like at the time maybe they weren't that good of friends because Sheena was reacting to it like, "Oh my god, Janet!" Like,
Yeah, that seems like Janet's like, she'd come in with hand sanitizer to the threesome. Like, I just
Janet,
don't,
you
yeah,
suck,
I'm not
Janet.
here for her.
you suck.
Listen, Jason came into that party and he gave a seemingly genuine apology to Danny, right? It's like
Yeah.
he grew a conscience, realized what he did was not true to who he is. He said sorry. And then all of a sudden he's in this weird curated response fight with Kristen for saying the whole wedding ring thing. Like, no, I'm not Ted Bundy and I also keep my wedding ring
Yeah.
on. And Janet's now pretending to be a 1950s housewife being like, you need to apologize to my husband.
you're not running the show, Janet. No one's listening to you. No one cares. You're a pawn in the game of. This is Kristen's game.
Also, it's a real pet peeve to me when people wear the dress that she had on, wear it that way. There's two ways to wear it. You
don't
don't
even
wear
remember.
both sets of straps. It was like one of those like Hawaiian type dresses
course it
where
was.
like you would you could put the strap around your neck, or there's straps that go around your shoulder. You don't do both. Do you know what I mean? Like, you either realize like, oh, I'm the itty bitty titty committee and I can just do it around my neck because there's not a lot to support. Or it's like, no, I've got more there. I use the straps. You don't use both. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's just, she has
Just one more notch.
yeah, I'm just not a fan of hers. And it really irks me when people are like, Courtney, you look so much like her. And I'm like, no, I don't. Because I just can't stand her. But
No,
that's
you
fine.
really don't. I'm sorry. I love all our viewers and all of their opinions really mean a lot to me. That one means absolute crap to me because I don't see it at all. Like I said, it seems like you guys both just have long, healthy hair. Like,
Oh my God, you think my hair is long?
yeah.
Thank you.
Like when you have it straight, you guys, and you part it down the middle. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
End of story.
I think maybe like our hair color maybe is similar. But anyway, they have this ridiculous fight. There was one thing that I just was actually curious that I wanted to ask you guys that happened at this thing, and then we could get into the Lala of it all. When they asked Jesse, are you still attracted to Michelle, or is there anything still there? I think at that time, at that party, I do think there was a part of him that was still a little bit.
Yeah, no, I believe that.
When he was, like,
I
not
believe that
even
he
in
was
a
never
mil-
not attracted to her.
Yeah.
If no one remembers, he was trying to get her to stay the whole time.
Yeah.
Now he was going about it in very odd ways.
Yeah.
Not the way for anyone to go about that. But he never did not want to be with her. Like,
That's what I thought. I thought when
Yeah.
he said that, I was like, I think you're not telling the truth here,
yeah,
bro.
everyone was using the words like he's still totally in love with her when she walks in a room, blah, blah, blah. And Lala's like, I'm a Debbie Downer. She says, I'm the angel of death. So like, I'm going to say right now, I don't think that's love. I think that he viewed her as a possession,
Yeah.
and a possession that got away. And that is really annoying to him that like he lost that possession.
Yeah, that's my car. Yeah. Bring that back. That's mine.
That's what I said. Like that. Like he found this shitty car in a barn. He took
Yeah.
it home. He restored it, got it pimped out, and then it drove off with some honey entrepreneur.
Top
So-
down screaming out money ain't a thing. Fuck
Yeah.
you,
What
Jesse.
did Little Red
But-
say? Little Red said, he doesn't still love her. He just, he took a no one, showed her the finer things, and then she left him for a beekeeper.
Yeah, for a beekeeper.
Oh my
yeah.
God, that is hilarious.
Which like that would bum me out. So I don't know if he loves her. I think he really like is so mad and hates her. But I
No,
don't.
I think now he does. I think in that moment he was still like, no, that's my car.
But I don't think he loved the car. I think he just was.
No, but into her, like
Wanted
wanted
the
to be
car
with
back.
her, wanted to, whatever you would call it, whether it's still my girlfriend, my wife, or I still
But
own
I think
this.
what
like,
Jasmine
wanted
was
to still-
asking him is, do you still have feelings? Are you
Yeah,
still in
yeah,
love?
yeah,
Are you
yeah,
still
yeah.
like? And he was like, not at all. So that I believe. Did he
Oh.
want to not have that situation? Did he want her like? I don't think he wanted her back for love and because he
Right.
missed her. I think he wanted her back to win or to not lose.
Yeah.
Not even win, because to just not lose. I don't think he wants to
Yeah,
lose.
yeah.
He made this thing and it got away from him.
Yeah.
And he's mad about that.
Well, this was why I loved the moment between him and Lala. And someone had said to me one time, they're like, like when I saw Lala on screen for the first time, I was like, oh, this reminds me of Courtney. I'm like, really? Because we're very different in a lot of ways. But then when she does shit like this, I'm like, oh, I think that's what this person was tapping into. I'm not an argumentative person at all, but like I had said to my brother the other day, like I will never start a fight with someone, but I will finish it. Like I'm not gonna back down. And when Jesse came over to just get some shine off of Lala, because he just knows,
Yeah.
like, oh, you've been on private planes before. Like you're kind of maybe cool, or maybe I should like start talking to you. Maybe there's an inroad here for me to whatever he's thinking. And she just won't have it.
No,
She's
I
like,
love that.
I think you're a disgusting excuse for a father, human being, person. I don't fuck with you. And I think you're a narcissist and you're an awful significant other. And I'm out on you.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's great. That gave me the best laugh of my day. Like said as you're not laughing, as like there hasn't been one laugh in the entire scene.
yeah.
So like,
No.
I just don't know if you know how laughter works, Jesse.
I know. And she really
It's
said
audible?
every single thing, It's so easy. You take Michelle out of the equation, and it's so. And aside from, I'm not saying anything. Whatever. You put him with anyone else that's like a formidable. We talked about this. A formidable opponent. He needs a formidable. Lala is like exactly. If you're gonna have him arguing with any woman on this show, put him against
with Lala.
Yep.
You know what sucks too is like I don't know. I think Jesse is a piece of shit, but he's still at a point where he could have a redemption story. Like Jesse could come back and be a normal next season or the end of next season. But he's so easily, he's such a fucking pussy, this dude. Like, he's so easily triggered from regular douchey guy to, whoa, dude, you're the biggest asshole ever. 0 to 60 in like half a second. Like, whatever the shortest second is. That's how, like, calm down, dude.
Yeah.
I was sitting there being like, okay, you're doing good, dude. Just keep it. Just take this one. Don't fuck around. Like, this could be one little step to you becoming like, okay, maybe you have some remorse or whatever about this thing that you said. And he did perfect until that, like, when she walked away and he was like, well, that was the funniest thing, or that provided me with the laugh of the day. I'm like, you blew it. You blew it. All you had to do was say nothing and let her walk
this
away.
to me is
would have
why
been so great. I'm sorry if he would have just been like, okay, do you want to get drinks? Can I take you to dinner? Like, no woman has ever spoken to me like that. Like, it would have been great if he had it in him to just be a little self-deprecating in that moment and be like, I think I'm in love with you, Lala. This has never happened to me. Like, but of course,
it would have been
he
fun,
does
but it wouldn't
exactly.
have worked. Like,
No.
what would have worked?
But like,
what could have worked if he was just like, you're right, biggest mistake of my life, and had her walk away, and then he just goes the other way, and just, like, you know what I mean, and then like. Then maybe Lala's, and I don't think she is, but if we're gonna go down this road, then maybe Lala's like, fuck, I didn't think that was gonna go down that, like, saying it, but thinking it, like, he took that really well. Like, I think he might, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Again, only if we're going down the, like,
no, I'm
hey,
with
let's
you.
have
I'm with
drinks,
you on all of it.
you know?
But like when he said that last it was out of an 80s movie. Like, oh, no, it's like, who's gonna want you now? Nobody. Right. Like, nobody. How about like, shut up. And I know that wasn't an 80s movie, but then
It may as
Can't
well
Hardly
be.
Wait. Yeah, exactly. 90s, great 90s movie. Can't Hardly Wait. Isn't that it?
Yeah. But
okay.
instead he said, my shit could have been slamming with somebody else.
Right. Like, he's just that loser that, like, can't help but be like, funniest, like, that gave me the best laugh all day. And that's the same thing that I was tapping into when he was arguing with Janet, and he's like, you can't handle this heat. Fuck you. Step aside. You're not even lukewarm. Handle this heat. Like, he's such an easy guy to go against, but nobody on this cast just has the thing. Thank God they had Lala in as a pinch hitter for this one moment, because she did say to him, like, well, you called her a whore. And he's like, in a moment of unbridled passion that I think anyone would have fallen weak to. And she's like, you also said it on a text thread with like 30 dudes before that. And he's like, right, this is true. Right. Because she's just calling you on your actions.
Yeah. She's so calm and cool. Right. It's great.
So it's like, you can't sit here and be like, the emotion of Santa Barbara got away from me. Dude, you've been pulling this shit and it just pop goes the weasel in that moment, and you can't handle not getting your way.
Yeah.
You lost. The marriage is over. Get over it. Go have beautiful Newport love with your on again, off again, maybe alleged girlfriend who's hassling the Hoff.
We're going to bleep all that so we don't get sued.
Yeah.
I said allegedly.
I just realized something when you brought up that thing with Janet, that when he got into the argument. Think about the way that Jason let Jesse talk to Janet and the way that he lets Danny talk to Janet. Like, how he handled both of those situations. Danny, the nice guy, the guy that's coming correct, ready to give you all the apologies, ready to say my bad and whatever. He's trying to annihilate him, trying to take him on, do a dinner table takedown at the lunch diner, at the whatever, the
diner
box.
table takedown,
a diner table, yeah,
a diner counter takedown.
Yeah, exactly. to where then when he's at the place in Santa Barbara at the racetrack, when Jesse's got his shirt thing pulled down and is like all up in Janet's face, couldn't be bothered.
He's kicking her into the lion's den.
Yeah, yeah. Jason is a little ass bitch.
Now you know what
Beta ass.
you know what it's like? It's like in the season 2 Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, part 1 of 3, when Kyle tells Lisa that she preys on the weak.
Yes.
Like that. It's kind of like that.
Oh my God. I've
Jason
never been
and
more in love with
Lisa
Mike than in
are
this
the
moment.
same. They prey on the weak.
He knew that Danny would just be a gentleman and let him go. And Danny did find his balls at his, like, didn't find his balls. Danny always had his balls, but Danny's a gentleman and a scholar. And until he had to be like, shut your mouth.
Yep.
This is ridiculous. Like, you're flying off the rails here. Like
Yeah.
he had to, but it took him, he let him go. He let him go. Really did sit back and go, okay. Like listen to the whole thing. He didn't want to get punched in the face by Jesse, who probably wouldn't punch anyone in the face. I think Danny would punch someone sooner than Jesse would.
Couldn't beat someone
He
up.
would
to
have
save
hurt his
life.
manicure.
Not that correct. Not that I'm trying to say people should be
but there
physically
is,
violent
you
with one
know-
another. Of course not. But when he said that thing about Zach, Jesse was like, I'll kick his ass. I'll throw him over the side of this cliffside mansion in Santa Barbara that's available for weekends for $20,000, and I'm the agent. Like, no, you won't. Zach will.
Yeah.
You mop the floor with you, Jesse.
Yeah.
Just stop. Who hurt you? Let's get you in some real therapy, and because you could have a redemption arc. But it says everything about you, that you were friends with Jax when you guys were younger. You realized he was a scumbag. You didn't talk to him for 20 years. And then when you realized there was a financially viable business thing that could happen because of this MFer, that's when you started talking to Jax again. And you, as we said last week, in the great words of my dad, sleep with dogs and wake up with fleas.
Yep.
That's it. And don't be surprised when it happens. And you know what? You're going to wake up with, you already have a flea infestation. The end of the episode is just Britney saying, hey, y'all, can everyone come here? Jax got this house.
That was the worst scene
Which
I've
was so
ever
dumb.
seen in my life. And why did you bring over everyone except the straight dudes?
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
You didn't? Every single person on the entire cast, a couple rando strangers that we'd never seen before in our lives, got corralled over for this gigantic announcement, and all the husbands were just, none of them were there. Not one of them. They were in the background fucking about. This was the weirdest scene I've ever seen in my life.
It was so dumb.
I didn't even notice that either. Yeah.
The
scene was nothing.
Crazy.
We already covered it with your
The
mom.
amount of fucking grins on Britney's dumb face. Oh, I fucking hate her so much. She is loving all of this. She's loving it. I don't buy her bullshit for a half a millisecond.
Teresa Lyle says Britney was always the sweet one next to Jax. With no Jax, she just looks petty.
Yeah.
Like it
She
really
looks worse than petty.
It's not, that's not wrong, that comment.
No.
Actually, I forgot. The last scene is when they were at Jax's, which, by the way, I was running errands today in the Valley, and I didn't realize, I know exactly where Jax's is.
Yeah.
It's next to
Radford.
a gas station.
Oh. Is it by Radford?
No.
Oh, I thought in my head it
It's
was like
down
directly
the-
across the street from CBS.
If you are heading like north up Laurel Canyon, you make a left on Ventura towards Coldwater.
Yeah.
And it's next to that Arco gas station that always has really cheap gas. I remember when it was the other bar.
Yeah.
They are giving it a very good edit on the show, like just by way of like the angles and all that stuff.
Shooting it only at night.
And I was like, how have I missed that? I literally thought it was on the other side of the street in a different part of Ventura.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for good old Jax's.
Yeah.
But at any rate, they go, it's Jasmine, Britney, and Schwartz table.
Yeah.
I wonder if they went in and said party of Schwartz.
Party of Schwartz.
They said everything that we've already talked about with like the mortgage stuff and all
Yeah.
of that. And the only note that I had is, remember when we were talking about Schwartz's response to Jesse on the Vile Files? When he just says, listen, he's a complicated guy, but I think you're going to see some stuff in him. And I had said to you, I go, no, I really think that Schwartz's tragic flaw here is that he gives people too much leeway
Stand by it.
to be. No, I think it's so sweet. I think it's so sweet of him. I just think that like you're not going to get him, at least publicly, talking smack about these people. Well, when they're sitting at Jax's and Britney starts saying all this crap about Jax, he's like, no, but look at the texts he sent me from therapy. He's doing well. This is a good time out for him. And Britney's like, well, let me tell you what he's been up to. And it's just like, I just think that Schwartz is just.
Party of Schwartz forever, for life. Por vida. Sorry.
No, I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying I think that just was what I was trying to point out about his thought with
Your
his thoughts on
spot
Jesse.
at Schwartz's table is getting iffy.
No, I love him.
He's going to be at the kids' Schwartz table.
Should we do comments?
Schwartz table for kids. Yeah, I mean, I'm still part of Schwartz. My only thing I said was that I'm going to need him to start
Yeah, no, I would love
getting
that
back
too.
to real life and not be on his. And everyone's amazing to her.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Trish S. Vader said, I got the dots. Both me and my Sprite pounding husband are addicted. Honey mustard for dinner and cinnamon sugar for dessert works for me. And Mike goes, dream night as far as I'm concerned. His dots and his Sprite.
Carrie says, Mike, Sprite drinkers and bars unite. I used to have a joke with my friends that I'll be dancing on the bar after 3 Sprites, so watch out.
Richard Jordan. Oh, I clocked Janet S1E1 when she introduced herself. I think most of us did. She wanted to be Stassi and I instantly disliked her. Not because I disliked Stassi, but because be yourself. Then she proved to be a Karen with her pregnancy and making up all that BS with Zach and Kristen. And now she's starting on Nia and Danny. He glugged warm tequila. Janet, tequila is warm. It's not served cold. Weirdo fangirl. What I don't know is why the other women except Kristen side with her. I agree, Richard. Strongly agree with that. I don't know either. New 5045. Schwartz is toxic. I can't stand hearing the Schwartz love. He's not the aw shucks guy he portrays. If you watched Vanderpump Rules, you would know. The reason I bring this up.
I watched it and I'm still here.
Okay. Let's just open this up for a discussion real quick. The reason I wanted to read that is because we have said this before. We believe in growth. We believe that people can evolve here on Showmance. And I just think that Schwartz not only has evolved, but the number one sign that he has is his relationship with his ex-wife.
Yes.
If he was the biggest thing that he ever did, and I brought it up before, is when he poured like that glass of water or something on her. And that really took me aback when he did that. If they can get past that and heal and she can forgive him, and it seems like she doesn't suffer fools gladly.
No.
I have to trust that like she's giving us the green light to also enjoy our party of Schwartz.
Yeah.
So.
If you don't think that Katie Maloney is the biggest hard ass on Bravo,
Totally.
then like you didn't watch Vanderpump.
Yeah, no, she was tough as nails and she forgave him and still loves him. And I feel like we can too.
I love when he says like, when we divorced, we just gave a fist bump and
$150 later.
Yeah, $150 later.
Went out for some margies.
Yeah. And they're still going on each other's pods back to backs.
So nice.
Yeah.
Zoe, this one's just me being a gluttonous pig. Courtney, yes, you were spot on about Jesse from the start. I always agreed with your take on him. Thanks, Zoe. Truth for Peace for Freedom. I agreed that Danny's voiceover work isn't easy. It has to be incredibly mentally draining. Shortly after high school, I worked for a blind elderly woman. She paid me $20 an hour to read her newspapers, letters, bills, etc. I was completely drained after 2 hours of nonstop talking. She hung on to every single word I said and would critique me if I mispronounced a word or wasn't talking loud enough. I would need a drink and a nap after a 2-hour shift. Very mentally taxing. So imagine doing that for 8 to 10 hours. So I thought that was just a great point.
Yeah.
Only gets better. I say it every time, I love this name. Thank you, Courtney. It's something I used to say to myself when I was going through a difficult time. It's funny because I just got dumped today. So thanks for reminding me. Haha, it will only get better. Thanks for reminding me. I like this cycle. Round of applause for Nia. She tore them to pieces with her story. So emotionally aware and the communication. They're a beautiful couple. I completely agree.
Also, fuck that dude. There's some more comments after that.
Yes.
Fuck that guy. So
wait, she gave a great explanation. Like he was part this person, like part Jesse and part someone else.
Didn't
and she's
sound
like,
great.
Yeah.
Like,
you better off without him, girl.
You did good. You did good.
A lot of people have chimed in something to you, and then I'm like, oh, She'll tell him on the show that she got.
No,
and then
no,
with
but
hers,
I love
I was like,
you doing the Lord's work.
I was like, I need you to know right now that if Courtney were here to see this, she would put her head through a wall.
I read that and I would have because it meant so much to me. I was so upset. Carrie Peacock just said, I think it would be interesting to recap older episodes of shows. I know we've talked about this before. If I can get my ball and chain over here to agree.
We can't do that.
No.
Because we already know, like, if we try to go back and do Vanderpump, and I started to write this back to her and then I'm like, well, I'll just explain it. I think a big thing that I at least kind of like doing is like all of us kind of making our predictions on like what is the real deal here, what's going to happen, whatever. If that's not an element, it will just be taking a big factor out of what is involved in what we do. And I just, to already know where those characters end up, I don't know how. I would just be like, well, I would be skipping ahead all the time and be like, well, eventually, you know how that turns out. So like, clearly that wasn't going to work for you. Like, I just think it would change the show. It would be a different show, which like one day when we have other people that work for this stupid channel, we can get other people to do that. But for Showmance, the show as it is, I don't think it would work.
I agree with you. And I think that it's part of the reason why I don't love watching. I can't rephrase this because I do love Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah.
But I don't, now that we're doing this,
Yeah.
like I don't like watching the after shows and the Watch What Happens Lives and the Nick Viles. Like I enjoyed all those things before because before it was just part of the story and the show and the whatever. But now like I find myself being like, no, we deep dive the show. We deep dive the 42 minutes that they show us and that's what we deep dive. Or are we deep diving these people's lives? You know, like I go back and forth on that. Like, what are we doing? I mean, listen, it's not, we could go rewatch them all, but it wouldn't be Showmance. It would be a different
it would just
thing.
be
It
like
wouldn't be
back
deep
in time. It would be a totally different, like you'd come up with a new name and we would just do it.
Or
that
they
way.
would be 6-hour episodes. Because we would be like, yeah, but remember in season 5,
Yeah, because that's how it
we'll
gets
get to that in 6 weeks. But now, like it would
Yeah.
be, oh my God.
Okay, well, we'll put it through the.
It's in development.
Yeah, it's in development. Thank you. It's in development.
Yeah.
This is another one of me just bragging. Marissa Carroll.
do
Courtney
you do this?
brought the hammer down harder on Jesse in the past. So I see you, girly. And the general public was siding with Jesse at the beginning. Also, I feel like my joke is no one ever agrees with me. So the fact that I had 2 people agree with me in the comments instead of just saying, I love your bronzer, I just was really excited.
And your hair.
And my hair.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I did just want to say, because a few people had asked about my arm. I burnt it while cooking pasta really badly, and I have to keep it covered because it's too bubbly and gross.
Yeah, people really went with the worst route with
I
that.
know. Someone was like, did Courtney try to kill herself? And I was like,
Yes.
no, my pasta sauce is
Try-
delicious.
came
Why would I
for
ever?
me? And my pasta sauce came for me, and that's it.
Yeah, no. It was actually the steam from the pasta water, and sometimes steams can be worse than like actual just direct burns, and it was awful.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on my YouTube of it all. It's been a real. I think I'm just going to break down and get something else, and then just keep checking back to see if my name's available.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Oh my God, wait. Jesse said something that made me want to kill him when he goes, Michelle would say that I was controlling. Oh, am I controlling when you're coming home late and I need to check to see that you close the garage door? You're a young girl. Anything could happen to you. And I'm like, a young girl? That is the most patronizing thing a husband could say to his soon-to-be ex-wife. She is a 30-year-old woman, business person, and mother. She's not a young girl. She's not 12.
When he tries to tell her, you will come in, you will lock the door, you will check on Isabella. Like, I'll do whatever I want, asswipe.
I'm naming that bug Jesse because he annoys the shit out of me.
Get him.
And I want to kill him. Okay, Mark, you're up. Commies. Feel so free now that I can say it. I love the commies. That's going to get us banned.
This is Trisha. This is a long one, Trisha. It's all good, but I just like after we filmed last week, it doesn't happen often, even though these two are gonna be like, oh yeah, you fucking happens all the time. It doesn't. But there's once in a while I'll say something, and after we film, I'm like, that one was pretty good. And I gotta say, the travel ball The participation trophy kid on the travel ball team was I thought was like, dang, that was a good one. Trisha agrees.
Wow, look at both of you. Just really.
Drinking Sprite and having a good time.
Natalie, when the people love you, they love you. You just
Also,
have to.
but she agrees with both of us too. I'll read just the first part. I agree with Mike and Courtney on Nia. Makes perfect sense to me. She probably makes sure she is. I can't read.
Thank God for you guys out here just to bulge up these buck faces egos all day.
Listen, what's the point of being on camera if you can't
Get a
have
little love?
people like you? We like that they like us.
Chrissy Cheek says, Jesse's hair looks like a 1920s theater usher. Look up a young Charlie Chaplin or Houdini. I find it very creepy.
Agreed, Christy.
Yeah. Crystal Howell says, can't stand Janet or Michelle. I used to like Britney, but she's been around Janet too much and she's starting to act like her. I think Britney's friends with anyone right now who's not giving her any flack for anything.
Yeah.
I remember that when getting divorced. The people that you will not keep around are people that are causing you any problems. But the people that they could be annoying everybody else in the room, but if they're sweet to you, that's all you want. It's all you care about.
Your yes man.
Exactly.
Your hype girl.
Exactly. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Britney right now. She's still hanging out with Janet all the time when she could be hanging out with other people. Like, I think it's just because Janet's up her asshole and and Britney's really into that during this phase of her life. Deborah Traeger says, so sick of Britney. Period. End of story. I
noticed there were a lot of those in the comments.
Yeah, she's getting on everyone's damn nerves. Gloria Garibay, hey, anyone else see Karen trying to look like Courtney on Watch What Happens Live? Try less not to be a bitch. Remember, I thought it was not to bust balls.
Yeah.
NTBB. You learn something new every day. Karen saying Danny has a drinking problem. Said the woman bragging about underage drinking, getting caught, and needing to take mandatory classes about her drinking. Jasmine comes across like she's reaching for a storyline. It can still bother her, but then say that. Exactly. Johnny smiles. Booker didn't deserve this. He got sucked up into the void of this season. The fact that season 2 was pitched on these storylines is probably why viewership is way down. I'm sure Danny getting drunk is not equivalent to a single night with Jesse or Jax. Hallelujah.
100%.
Yeah.
Johnny, couldn't agree more.
Yeah. But then Johnny does say, Nia needs to get honest about daddy. And then he said, hashtag Team Janet. But then I called him out on that and he was like, yeah, even I couldn't, after I clicked enter, it just didn't feel right.
So did Carly. I'd like 3 or 4 people.
Oh yeah, Carly was like, I need to know if this is a serious thing. And he's like, no.
Yeah. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Carly, for clarifying. We were all wondering. Katie Walling says, one thought about Danny. Remember when we all first started drinking, when we drank too much and did stupid stuff because we didn't know how to drink? They don't seem like they really drink at all in their normal lives. So maybe he'd never learned how to drink. I wouldn't be shocked at that either.
See, I do think they drink in their normal lives. Like, I think that anytime Danny gets his night out with the boys, he wants to get schnockered.
Yeah.
I think that all of Luke is a drinker, Kristen's a drinker.
Yeah. I feel like Danny might have been he might have been raised in a way that wasn't something he did all the time. I'm not saying this is true at all. I'm open to that possibility. I'm saying.
I saw where she was coming from
partier,
when she was saying it. Yeah.
And then he's like, it's like people that come out of the closet when they're in their 50s and then they're running around West Hollywood in cutoff shorts. They're living out their adolescence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone gets one. Everyone has the right to have an adolescence. Mary Solp has no interest in the secret lives of Mormon wives. So that settles it.
By the way, neither do we.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a good one.
Yeah.
Show.
Mike and Mary and Courtney hate the Mormon wives. Sorry, Mormons.
I don't hate. I just strongly dislike. How about that?
No. We're not. Yeah, it's
Not
but
for me.
I'm glad that you guys got Mary's stamp of approval.
Oh,
though.
me too.
That's off the docket. Maximum Dole says, if Janet were a narcissist, then they tend to attract people who enable them. Alternatively, he could be using her as a shield to hide his own BS. But Janet needs to make everything about her and make herself into a perpetual victim. That suggests the former.
She always has to be a victim.
She does.
Soup's annoying.
Yeah. And Maximum Dole also says, Brittany's embarrassed about being a Jax apologist, so she's projecting onto Nia and making her a punching bag for how she feels about herself. I don't like Danny, but I don't blame Nia But don't blame Nia for protecting him / dealing with their issues privately. He may have a binge drinking problem, but this group is the last to be able to criticize his drinking, and comparing a Jax or Janet's potential fake addict ex is a stretch. If the trust was broken because Danny did something inappropriate, your choices are to be direct or end the friendship. This addict accusation as roundabout punishment is toxic.
Agreed.
This woman, I don't know what you do for a living, Maximum Dole, but keep doing it, or do this for a living if you're not.
Yeah.
It's all always so good.
Yeah, I'm 2 to 4 comments away from like just making like calling her my therapist.
Yeah.
People be like, "Are you started therapy?" I'd be like, "I am." What's your therapist's name? She goes by Maximum Dole.
It's actually
She's
at
great.
Maximum
At
Doll, but-
Maximum Dole. She's real good.
Meteor Wine says, think back to the height of Kristen's crazy and Vanderpump Rules. Nothing she did compares to Janet's icy cold psycho. If you're going to go the villain route, you have to get the audience to delight in your bad, not barf.
Yep.
He always nails it well too.
Also, if you got to commit to the bit. Like, if
Yeah.
you're gonna do it, go all the way.
Yes. Nettie says, coming after Nia gives bully to me. If these people want to create drama villainizing people that drink a bit too much on occasion, it's a bad move because they're going to lose most of their audience. Dumb AF.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all they all do anyways.
If you're looking at a show like The Real Housewives of New York, where you can see there were characters on there that it was on camera, like Dorinda would drink to the point where like she would have subtitles.
Yeah.
Multiple times. And I loved Dorinda. I thought she was an amazing housewife. RIP to the show. But like that was tracking, like, okay, some help could be useful here, right?
Yeah.
Like it's why it's not tracking or sticking with Danny, because it's just not there.
Yeah.
Or at least on the show.
No, I'm with you. Nettie also says, Janet trying to be the intervention host talking about addiction as if she qualifies. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, that was I loved that comment.
Yeah. Sam says, Janet is completely insufferable. I'm over Britney too. Not a Jasmine fan either. The whole Danny thing was completely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's reading that way to people also.
Yeah.
Because it was.
Yeah.
Because people aren't stupid.
Yeah.
Even though I say it all the time, everyone's stupid. And we are. We're all stupid. But also we're not. Like, we're not that stupid. Like, it's just, this is new 50-45. Danny gives me the creepy vibe. Listen, I've never said this because I haven't committed to it yet, but it's bopped around in my head more than one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it's the
not nothing.
laugh, probably.
No,
I think it's the whole package for Mike.
It's sometimes just that whole package. It's not even the laugh. It's just the Darko Danny, like Danny Darko or whatever that movie was. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't said it and I'm not going to commit to it right now. But when I saw this comment, I was like, I haven't not thought that. And then this is something I say all the time and no one ever believes me, but Christmas Jones does. The lady on the far left favors Julia Roberts, especially in the nose and the eyes. I've been saying that since the day I met Courtney.
Thank you.
So is all of America.
No, only me and Christmas Jones.
I always say, like, if I had a nickel for the amount of times that's said to me, like during a week, I could buy the White House, which might sound like, oh, so heady. I just mean like, no, like it is the funniest thing to me, because one time I was at a wedding. I can name drop this because I think she would think it was funny. One time I was at a wedding and I'm at like the breakfast buffet the next day, and Ricky Lake comes up to me and she's like, has anyone ever told you you look exactly like Julia Roberts? And before I could get the yes out of my mouth, she goes, I don't know why I said that. Everyone always tells you look exactly. And I was like, yes. But it was just so funny because people come up to me, like the resemblance is that striking, but like that they're the first person to say it. So it was just funny for someone to catch them in themselves in the middle of it, being like, oh, you always get it. Which, by the way, I think it's the most lovely compliment. Thank you. I will always take it.
Isn't the first time that you actually just tried to like cut someone off and say, I know, Julia Roberts? It was like someone, like the one time you've ever.
The only time in my entire life I'm at the gym, this sweet gay guy is like orbiting me. I know he wants to say something to me. And I turn around and I'm like, hi. And he's like, has anyone ever told you I'm like Julia Roberts, right? He's like, no, Brandy Glanville, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah, you know who Brandy is now.
By the way, I was walking out of a diner.
Actually, a little bit.
I was in her.
That way you just smile. I've literally never thought that in a million years.
He's not
I
wrong.
just caught like a part of your profile that it's like, okay.
But I think before she did all the stuff to her face,
yeah.
I'm hoping because I haven't.
Before she got her face-eating disease.
Correct. I was leaving a diner
Definitely before that.
last weekend, and on my way out, I was with my friend Jake. On my way out, Jake heard someone go, "Oh my God, is that Julia Roberts?" And he starts pissing himself. I'm like, if anybody knows anyone, she's the only person I've ever wanted to meet. Because I just want her to be like, has anyone ever told you you look just like me? Because she doesn't walk around her whole life.
You should say to her, has anyone ever
told you you look exactly like Courtney Abiati?
If I ever meet her, I'm saying that. Back to comments. This is the last bit of a Zoe comment. And just because we brought it up a lot, Nia and Danny are not pretending to be perfect. They are actually a happy, normal, healthy couple, and these girls can't seem to understand how a healthy relationship is actually possible. Jasmine is trying too hard for a storyline. It's getting annoying. Yes, on that last part. But I was really just focusing on the Danny and Nia thing, because it's funny that people are like, we're pretending to be perfect. And, well, I mean, nobody's perfect, but like, no, that's just their jam.
We mentioned that last episode. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, no, that's why I brought it up. Or that's why I was flagged just that last bit of her comment. The whole comment was good, but
yeah, I remember.
Marion Shepard, I wouldn't be surprised if Jesse and Michelle are gone next year and Brock and Sheena are in. Why else is Sheena there? Honestly, I don't know why Brock and Sheena are there, but I'd be way down for Brock and Sheena to come back. Because I've always liked Brock, and this actually, maybe it was the after show, was one of the few times I've looked at him and been like, what, bro? Because, like, and somebody clocks it all the time, and it might be Nettie, is that Jesse or that Jason and Brock I can throw into this mix are truly friends with Jax and Jesse, it seems like. And if you're real good buddies with those guys, like, you might have a problem. There might be something to look at. And it seems like Brock is like making excuses for Jax. So whatever. But I'm down.
Brock is?
On the after show, it seemed like he kind of was.
I forgot about this. Even Jason was.
Jason was hardcore.
Like, Jason, what is your major malfunction?
Yeah.
Like, I thought you were someone else.
Like, he was definitely trying to be the like give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and like he did like the thing that I was like, oh, when Jax was like, oh, I found this thing out and I just didn't care anymore. He clocked that, but then there was a couple other things that I was like, no, dude, that's too much.
No, yeah, explaining why Jax did the thing that he did and can't do this right now because of this. It's like, you were just eating that dude up, and it's just like, if no one else is, and you're actually his friend, then there's no excuses.
Well, I'm just gonna spoil it for you, Jason. This is not gonna end well. Jax doesn't age well ever, so to defend him ever is just not gonna bode well.
I'll say for this little message to Jason and Tom Schwartz: sometimes if you don't have anything mean to say, don't say anything at all. This from Christy, one of our fourth hosts. Now, I loved your take on Michelle's boyfriend, wondering if she fights back at Jesse when it's not necessary. As the onlooker, the boyfriend, it would be hard to deal with Jesse, but Michelle's reactions to Jesse would be even harder to process, which makes it difficult to respect her decisions. People need to be divorced before dating anyone else, and a person should not date anyone who isn't divorced yet. Nothing serious can evolve from a constant reminder and disruption from the ex. Not healthy for anyone, especially the kiddos. She's talking about Aaron being like, yo, if this shit doesn't change, I'm out. And then I was talking to you, kind of being like, oh, I wonder how much he has to sit there and listen to her fight with him about shit that she just shouldn't be fighting with him about.
It seems like she is super in love with him. And so I think if he mentioned that to her, I think she would amend that behavior because she does not want to lose him.
It seemed like it.
Yeah.
This is from Cami R12. Oh, Jason is not a sweetheart. he's a lawyer. Funny. I definitely believe he's a scumbag on the low. That's why he's friends with Jax and Jesse. I'm sure you're just talking about. Which, like, I'm starting to wonder that same thing.
This is why we reserved judgment on him a few episodes ago. Like,
Yeah.
he seems great, but we got to see this play out. Because I did not, whoever we saw this episode, I was not a big fan of.
Mm-mm.
And then the last two, one is a question and one is you're going to be like, I told you I don't like being complimented, but whatever. This is only because I haven't gotten this far. I'm only on season 2. Is that life coach that Jesse has the same one
As last
as
season? It
that
is.
from Beverly Hills from Kyle?
Oh, no,
Different
it's
one?
not.
All right, somebody had asked that. It's not.
It's the same life coach Jesse had last season, but Kyle on Beverly Hills is seeing someone different.
Cool. This is from Mia Taylor. I love this thumbnail 100. And so I just wanted to shout it out and give someone a little bit of credit.
Because
who
they
hates
take her
being
forever.
complimented all the time and doesn't like it when people say she did cool stuff, but too fucking bad. Natalie does all the editing, all the thumbnails, all the artwork, all the end cards. Everything that you see is done by this one. And we didn't know that she had this secret hidden talent. So I
kind of thought she did though. Cause she's real, like she would send me funny little videos that she would make. And I'm like, this is amazing. She's like, oh yeah, it just took me 8 hours and I threw it together.
yeah, I think the video, like the editing spectacular, but I don't think that, but the like all the graphics
No,
and
I
the
would
design,
see her do some
like,
graphic stuff randomly, but like on something silly.
Yeah.
And so that's why when she started doing this, I was like, yeah,
Anyway,
it's a real talent.
that's all Natalie. Courtney and I are just eye candy.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. So thanks.
Nee Ding says, don't get an RV. That's just a more expensive place to get car sick. And it's solved. We are
It's
not
not
getting
solved.
an
That's
RV.
not.
I almost
thing.
read that out loud, but
Look,
I don't want
Nee
this
Ding
one to get mad.
said it's not a good idea. It's not a
No.
good investment.
What
you're calling her a liar? Like she doesn't know things?
What they said, I don't know if it's a her or a he.
Ding,
Sounds
ding.
like a her. What she is saying is that you don't get in the RV.
No, that's
Oh, yeah,
not.
good
You
luck to you
probably
then.
weren't gonna.
Safe travels.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be me and Mark
Sure.
because I want to go.
Fucking
Be me
go
and
to
Minnie here holding
goddamn
down the
self.
fort. No back talk from
I'm
this
going
one.
foof.
Well, back talk in her own way. Patrick Boren says, in my honest opinion, Janet is I-centric, needs to be heard, relevant or not, with a self-righteous streak. Jasmine used Britney to stoke this confrontation. I felt sick watching her use the emotions of others while avoiding her triggers. I've also watched all of VPR. Britney is the queen of bad decisions. I missed season 1 of The Valley because of her dependence on being the victim. Jack shouldn't have a show centered on his illness.
You shouldn't have a show at all.
Well,
Period.
yeah, no, but all
Period.
of this
But yeah.
really does track.
Yeah.
Like even the harsh about Jasmine is like, we all knew, I think the first time that we watched this, we all said something like, it seems like she has her own beef and she should just go with that. It's way better than Britney's beef, but she's
Yeah.
glomming onto it because she's like either insecure about it or can't quite pin what it is. And I understand all those things, but like this just gets to the point of it of like, just leave Britney out of it. Shannon Falls says, not Janet projecting her manipulative motives onto Nia. The moment Janet realizes Nia is talking about her past, she stops listening to Nia and Janet's brain goes, the old sympathy ploy. How typical. Not to worry, we've prepared for this. So true. Janet didn't even listen to the part where Nia explains that her positivity is how she survives and not her being fake or hiding things. What I'm realizing now, and I almost want to like go back, but like, why would I ever go back just to like analyze Janet more? But like Janet, it doesn't listen. She's already got her game plan. She's already decided what she's going to say. No new information is going to change course of that. I think we should be grateful for it because we just watch her. She's not able to like be in the moment and like course correct when she needs to. She's going to set herself on fire every time because arguments change things, debates change things, like as they should. You know, you should always be open to another, to seeing it a different way. And she's not. So that will be that's her downfall. But for Shannon Fall to recognize that, like, Nia's telling this story and Janet's already checked out going, oh, she's doing this. So I'm just going to beep, bop, boop. And then we just spit this out. And here's the new script, like she just doesn't, it's great. It's be grateful when people are so transparent that are trying to fuck with you. Shannon also says, God, I freaking love cats.
Us too.
Yeah.
I freaking love Shannon.
Tanya Blue says, when Nia was sharing her story at lunch with the girls, I was focused on Janet. I'm convinced she is a sociopath. Zero empathy with a huge splash of evil. Not wrong. Terry Collins loved watching Janet try to stay composed. Her hubby, on the other hand, looked annoyed and uncomfortable at times. Cubby says, #party of Schwartz. Janet Karen losing every single poll on Watch What Happens Live was everything. I wish I could have been a fly in their Uber back to their hotel that night. Can you even imagine how mad she was? I can. I do it all day. I feel like Jason feel like it's the brunt of all things that go bad.
No sex that night.
Don't go to plan. Yeah.
Watching that, Janet seemed like a shell of herself. She was talking this really like quiet voice.
By the end of it, remember I said to you, I'm like, I feel like her whole world kind of came tumbling down. Even though like it was the greatest thing on earth, and we watched some of like clips from it again last night. It still hits. It still hits the second time. But I did go to a place where it's like we can all probably remember being like, oh God, I would love to be anywhere but here right now. Or just when the whole world seems against you. Like that is not a fun feeling.
No.
And even Janet had me a tinge being like, fuck, get her out of here. Like this is making me uncomfortable at this point. But
Well, hopefully if there is a next season, she's gained a little bit of empathy to not be so staunchly dug into these silly takes that she has.
Yes. Deborah Lashley, Carrie G, Christy Sheeks, A Fabes, and Build Indy, they all say curse away. So can you guys all send a note to YouTube and let them know what the...
we have a permission slip from our viewers.
What the camp has decided.
They're okay with it, and they're basically our parents.
Yeah. What do they say on Survivor? What has spoken?
The tribe.
The tribe has spoken. Yeah. Suck it, YouTube.
Yeah. If we weren't hoping to catch a few bucks here and there from some advertisers, we would let the curse words fly like eagles. Someday, if we can get like a bunch of like enough sponsors that are like, oh, we don't care, we'll pay for X, Y, and Z. Then we'll go back to cussing full time.
Oh, Carrie Peacock is added to that too. She's in too. So, well, now we have to.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, when we get sponsors, you're really going to have to button it up, Mark.
Or not, if we get the right sponsors.
Okay, well.
Dots and Cores, they'll let me cuss.
Yeah.
Elnut says, this episode was so annoying to me. Reaching for drama. What's going on in your lives, Jason, Janet, and Jasmine? Something to think about. Nettie says, Nia has a story of resilience and hope that a lot of people would benefit from. Aw, I love her. Nettie said, aw. I don't see Nettie as an aw. Girl, she must really like Nia. Johnny Smiles had a comment that said, I do not like when 4 storylines fizzle out into a reunion. I agree season 3 is probably going to see some kind of redirect from the network. Yes, Johnny. The great thing about the Valley, so many things, but one great thing is they are not hurting for like a storyline in the least bit. They have so many of them. They just happen to be dark. But it doesn't... It's kind of like the rant I just went on about Michelle. Like there's several things these girls could be talking about when they meet up. And maybe it's like that Michelle wanted to talk about Jesse, or I know that Nia asked the question, but also maybe it's a producer that's saying this scene is to catch Nia up on the latest with Jesse. If it was the latter, and it is the producers, by the show's instruction, they can course correct next season and make sure that we're not going from dark storyline to dark storyline. Like, in like the first 10 minutes or so, like of the show, we go from a self-tape of a lying liar in rehab to a newly single mom talking about said lying liar forcing her and their son to move out. And then we go to a discussion that's, rehashing a drunken ass grab and a did he or didn't he debate regarding locking oneself in a pantry with someone's wife. Then to Michelle discussing what a life-ruining narcissist her ex-husband is, while the camera keeps panning to their little 4-year-old as if she's an earshot's distance, listening to this whole thing. And those shots of Isabella could easily be they might not connect at all to like the real time. Like that might have just been an edit that they made. And maybe it is as bad as it looks, you know, maybe it's not, I don't know. But all of this is taking a toll on the audience. And anyway, I agree with Johnny that there's a big chance that the network is going to have to redirect going forward, pump up the good vibes, tone down the dark horses. And I know just the guy to help. His name is Tom Schwartz, my friends. With that, now's as good a time as any to report all new additions to the party of Schwartz.
A lot.
I think we're all here campaigning for Bravo to pluck Schwartz out of this purgatory and plop him right into the middle of the main cast.
Or give him a different show. We'll watch
So real quick.
I think he's necessary here is all.
What show are you plopping him in?
No, I'm plopping him into the main cast of The Valley because as it turns out, there can be too many dark horses on one show.
It's too much meat. We
It's
need
too
a
much.
vegetable.
Yeah. And if you just simply flopped Schwartz out with one of them, flopped Sheena and Brock out for Jesse and Michelle, like that would change half of the show. If the Valley's viewership is down, they're not all going to be Pat Clarks and tuning in anyways here. You know, if you don't look good, we don't look good. Help us help you. And, you know, like I said, you've got the backup team waiting. They're tried and true, proven bunch of people that have been on a show forever. You still got all your problematics, you know, but you lose the ones that are like, oh my God, you are a horrible, horrible, terrible, terrible person. Not that Michelle's a bad person, but I just don't care until she shows me something to care about. The new additions are as follow. Carrie G and Joe Schmo both reference Spaceball quotes saying, in the famous words of Spaceballs, may the Schwartz be with you. And also, Schwartz, it's not just a word, but a concept. I do not remember that. I haven't seen Spaceballs in 10,000 years, but I love that. Carrie demands that we get that bucket of hearts on the Valley. Claire Stewart commented on Spotify. A new one on Spotify. It's happening over there. I would like to throw my hat in the ring for Schwartzmans.
Yeah.
She said, but I don't want Lala or Sheena, though. Listen, I'm open to them, but like some parameters would have to be set. And, you know, we can discuss that at another time.
At a members meeting.
At the members meeting, yeah. Ningy Ding and Cubby and Deborah Traeger all keep it simple just by commenting with the hashtag Party of Schwartz. Confirmed, friends. Welcome. It's building. It's a movement now.
It's definitely a
Don't
jiggle.
fuck this up, Schwartz.
Yeah, we put our names out there for you. Our necks on the line.
Yeah, but to reiterate what Courtney said earlier, we have there are so few people that you get to see for 10 years and then see them come out on the other side and sustain years of sobriety from the fuckboy eras. I think that he has, I think he's just one of those people that you just hope other people can have a similar story where they just grow up one day and become a contributing human to society.
Yeah. And I just think it speaks volumes that his ex-wife, who is not going to put up with any BS, is like, I'm cool with you.
Yeah. Take it up with Maloney.
Yeah. Well, till the next time.
Yeah. Harris, come on. Get back on the horn.
Yeah, he went on vacation.
Okay,
And he said he
I
had
didn't get a
withdrawals.
vacation request.
He said he was on vacation, the most beautiful place on earth, thinking about the three of us, like basically having withdrawals. And then he got home
and
and
Pat
like
had withdrawals too.
plowed through. Like there's like 15 comments.
Guys,
the last 15 comments are all Harris
Oh, from
today.
Oh, I put all these together yesterday. God damn it. You
No,
try
I
to
think
be
it's
prepared?
on Summer House. It's on
What?
Summer House, not this one.
Maybe he did both. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Anyway, we'll be back.
I won't. This is my last day on the show.
Oh, I wish I knew. I would have brought you a cake. I would have brought you my homemade ice cream sandwiches. They're so good.
I'll do Friday if you
Smash
bring
you in the
ice cream.
face.
Guys,
But that's
look how
it.
cute Minnie is with her little brush.
How many more episodes of The Valley we got left?
I don't know.
Quite a few. This was 7. I think they do 15.
What are we doing after Summer House? Oh my God, Minnie, don't.
We're doing Bachelor in Paradise.
Are we?
Yeah. I already
Fuck
told too
yeah.
many people that we were.
You already told who?
Too many people.
Okay, well, we need to all sign off on this, although I totally want to do it.
It's not a
Okay.
Bravo show. You want to take
we're
a shot
gonna do it.
on
Enough
3
people
Hour
have
show
like. I
on
think
Not a
so.
Bravo show. Okay.
I mean, like, what else are we gonna do? There's nothing else. Like, we have to. I think that we have to.
Well, I think that we have to reconsider Miami
Me too.
because so many people are asking about it. What's the bare minimum we could watch? What's the new the new?
Just the new one. It's like
How many Miamis are
2
there?
seasons.
There's been a
reboot.
reboot that's only 2 seasons.
I think it's only 2. I think this is the 3rd.
But
So we
what
might have
is,
to put Beverly Hills on hold for a moment because
Put
we
it
have
on
more
ice.
time to get through that. Miami starts in what, like a few
As
weeks?
soon as Summer House is over, Miami goes into Summer House's slot. And it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Okay.
Wait, what did you just sign me up for?
Miami. Bienvenido a Miami.